computer. Are we recording? I don't want to make this mistake again. Yes. Okay. Play. I feel like I need a hat now.
Rachel's drinking wine. Holly's got a beer. I have whiskey. My Schlitz cup.
Did you not know what hat it was until you looked in the Zoom call?
Hat is
I got to see the hat. Austin Trail Running Company. Okay.
What?
Hi.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. This is 10 Junk Miles, a runner's podcast. I'm Scott Coomer with Adam Bankers,
Hello.
Holly Lindroth.
That's you, Holly.
You have to say something. It's audible.
It's a podcast.
Holly Lindroth. Say hello.
Hi.
Thank you. And then Rachel Engel.
Hi.
And this is a runner's podcast. This is the last ever, hopefully, Zoom podcast that we'll ever have to do. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's nice
Cheers to
for
that.
guests that don't live locally, it's been nice for that.
What?
It's been nice for like guests that don't live locally, that can come on. The Zoom has been nice for that.
Like Mindy Crotchfart?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I said to Holly today, I'm like, Holly, let's get a guest. Anybody that you want. She picked Mindy, so we'll get to her in the second segment. Anyway, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Exoskin. I'll talk to them a little bit later. This show's not just about ultra running. It's about all kinds of running, road running, and marathon running and 5Ks. And right now it's kind of like asphalt circle running. And,
Yeah.
We'll get to that at some point in time. And we have some long runs. I just released a long run with Steve Cannon, which everyone is amazed by, and I don't remember a fucking thing about. So I don't know what we talked about, but it was awesome, I guess. Did you listen to it? Because you're shaking your head. Rachel.
No, but I did hear. I've seen several people repost it and say this was amazing. So yes.
Yeah, Ollie's holding up his book, 40 Days. Is it 40 Days?
40 days.
Yes.
Because I just got done reading 46 Days by Brew Davis about crewing Jennifer Farr Davis on the Appalachian Trail attempt. So I got a 46 day and there's a 40 day. But anyway, that one's coming. I have my friend Billy Barnett, Billy Bonehead from Born to Run. Him and his girlfriend Alex, Dr. Alex. And I have a guy named Eric Whittington, something. He's in the can too. And tomorrow I'm going to do Ellie Pell for the third time. So we have a lot of content coming. And I guess with that,
Nice.
let's talk about what's been up and running. And we'll start with you, Holly, because you're on my big screen.
Oh, let's see. Last week I did 42 miles and I finished the Trot San Felipe shootout virtual run.
How did it feel to not have a coach?
Well, I'm still getting coached. Joe and I are still continuing, but we've shifted our focus a little bit just to make me a little bit better runner all around. Maybe a little less mental and maybe a little tougher. I don't know. Smarter maybe.
And tell us about the San Felipe shootout.
Let's see. Well, I kind of did it out of order, but I believe you're supposed to do a 5K at like 7 a.m. and then a 10K at 8 a.m. and then a half marathon at 10 a.m. And I did a half marathon at 9 and then a 5K at noon and then a 10K at like 4.
Nice.
Was it fun?
So, yeah, it was. Well, I mean, besides the heat and like being in the humidity for the first time all year, it was hot. But yeah, I had fun.
What are you training for? You don't even know. To Mississippi.
I know. The Sugar Badger, 50 mile, which is Saturday. And then I want to try to run the Badger 100 on my own at some point before August.
Rachel.
Hi. I ran last week. I'm in the middle of the quarantine doldrums where I've just kind of given up on the self-improvement thing, and like I don't care if I run. I kind of like being outside.
You're blowing off your Chinese classes.
Yeah.
Stop your origami.
Yeah, I've stopped trying to do art, and like my workouts have kind of fallen away. And part of the reason for that though is that I've had poison ivy, like bad.
Dude.
So
bad.
It started with this like little spot on my butt cheek, and it was oozing. It was so gross. Like I can't even describe to you how disgusting it was. And then I used the Teladoc. This is my first experience with the Teladoc. And I have to say I'm pretty happy because you can just get prescriptions over the phone. So that's awesome. But yeah, they prescribed me some cream and it went away like immediately. And then like 3 days after it went away, I got it all over my body. So I did the Teladoc thing again today.
Ivy's fucking worse.
They prescribed some steroids. So I get to look forward to doing steroids for a week until Sugar Badger, and then coming off of the steroids the day before, which is not a good idea. Yes, Holly.
I have a question.
Yes.
How did you get the poison ivy?
I think I took a side trail.
On your butt.
I think I took a side trail, and it poked me in the butt.
You're peeing?
Yeah. Yes.
Didn't get the other goods, did it?
No.
And what are you training for?
The undercarriage is clear. I just signed up for Mad City 100K, which got rescheduled for November 14th, which
14th?
I figured I can even, like, if we see some sort of resurgence in cases, if it doesn't get canceled, I think I can still do it pretty much isolated. Just have a drop bag by my table and like take all my own fuel. And yeah, I don't have to stay anywhere. I can just drive up that morning and drive back that night.
That race was like pretty isolated.
So yeah,
like when we did it.
a really good race.
It was all like
race back. Yeah,
25 people.
I was by myself the whole race last time. So yeah, so I wrote up a whole schedule for it, and
that's what you're training for.
I'm not going to do it, but
nice.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. Yeah, I'm really going to get in shape this time.
Yeah.
Right.
What was
beat your time from last time.
What's that?
What was the time lag between me telling you about that and you signing up for it?
It was like 3 Mississippi. I like went online right after and signed up, like immediately.
It went Liza telling me that she was doing it, to me signing up, and then me telling you about it, and then you signing up.
Yeah, I mean, it was all in one day.
So
when is Tunnel Hill?
What's the over-under on the number of other people on the show right now that'll signing up at some point?
Like as soon as they hear us talking about it?
No, I mean,
or you guys.
Adam and Holly and guest.
You think you're going to do it, Holly? No.
That's it for sure, yes.
I'll drive your ass
her head back and forth as
back.
if to indicate in the negative.
I'll drive you, Rachel.
Okay.
In my new
It would
car.
be awesome.
Yeah.
It would be awesome to have a crew at that race.
Adam?
What?
The thing we're doing here.
You're running. What's it like? How many miles?
You're next up.
It's like 0%. I didn't like that race at all. I mean, not that it was a bad race. I just didn't like it.
Mad City?
Yeah, I didn't like it for some reason.
The thing I forgot when I signed up is that you can't wear headphones. I think that was the thing that I hated about it the most.
And you forgot your watch.
I did forget my watch. I'm not going to forget my watch this time.
Yeah, you can wear headphones. You just can't wear headphones and qualify for the 100K championships. So if that's what you're going for.
Yeah, of course. I'm a Masters now. New age group.
We're going to revisit the Adam, Holly, Rachel, Mad City 100K. Weren't you guys, Holly and Adam, injured and both like quit in the middle because it had hurt and then you blew off the rest of the race?
Yep, we went to the bar.
So you
And then
didn't
we
get the
got
full
drunk.
experience.
5 miles, and then we went to the bar, and then we came back and cheered on Rachel's finish, I
It was really great to have people around cheering.
That sounds like a fun race to me.
Really happy.
think.
I remember like walking up. I was like walking because I was like, this is stupid. And then I was like, oh, finally a walker. Like some guy's finally walking. I could talk to this person. And it was Adam.
Of course.
I'm like, oh, hey.
Yeah, my foot was hurting, or my heel, so I was like, what is this kind of one of those?
Remember that person passed out at the bar?
Yeah.
Oh, you told me about that. They like fell down.
Tell,
We went
tell
to the
the,
Great
tell
Dane
the
and I
listeners
got
the
to do
story.
first aid.
Holly,
So
tell the listeners the story.
okay, so Adam
This
and
is
I
one of
quit
my
the
pet
race.
peeves with our competitor podcast. We're not going to name the name of it, but like when you do the inside joke and then everybody laughs and they just move to the next topic and then the listeners are like, "What is she talking about? What happened?"
So
Tell us the
Adam
story.
and I, we quit the 100K Mad City because we were just done with it. Adam, I think you were like hurting a little bit. I was hurting a little bit. We were just not having fun. And so we quit. And then we met one of Adam's friends, Becky, at the Great Dane. And we drank and we drank. And then we drank some more. And
Great
then
Dane's a
all
bar?
of a sudden,
Yeah.
what?
Great Dane's
Yeah, it's a bar, a restaurant bar.
brewery.
Just trying to
on
paint
the
a picture
square.
for the listeners.
It's in the capital of Madison, Wisconsin, maybe 2 miles west of the race, the start finish. We're just like, bye, Rachel, you're fine. And so then we're eating in the middle of our like lunch, dinner. It was not dinner. It was like lunch, barely lunchtime. I don't know. All the college kids were there. They were out drinking. I can't remember why.
A party or something.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
was something.
A bachelor party, and like I think somebody had one too many shots by like noon,
And they just
tipped over.
passed out.
Bam.
What time of day?
Like noon.
Yeah, noon.
Yeah.
And I
Where's
remember
Wisconsin?
going over there, providing some first aid, making sure everyone was okay. The guy peed his pants. He was fine.
Yeah.
So scared.
That's to be expected.
Had no idea what had happened to him,
He's like,
Oh my
what?
gosh.
Why wouldn't it be okay? And I'm like, dude, you're on the floor.
I'm just gonna say that if you're gonna pass out at noon in a bar, you got to pee your pants. That's like, how do you not do that? 1-2 punch.
Right.
All right. So Adam, tell us about your running week.
So last week I ran, I think, like 30 some miles. It's like taper week, apparently. And
Nice.
yeah, so it was a standard 5 days, 33 miles or something like that.
Cool.
My long run was 10 miles.
No tempos, no speed work.
No, I had what do you call it? Like 1 mile repeats, and I had 3 of them. That was like Tuesday. You know how fucking hard 1 mile repeats are?
Like
They
you mean running
suck.
fast?
Yeah, like run a mile as fast as you can, and then rest for 4 minutes, and then do it 2 more times.
Holly doesn't do that anymore.
No.
You gotta find a Strava segment. You gotta like look in your neighborhood and find a 1 mile Strava segment that just motivates you to run it faster.
Do I have to pay extra for the segments on Strava now?
Really?
Oh yeah, we'll get into that. Let's
Okay.
I've been paying extra for
Put a pin in
Strava
that.
forever, so I
write
don't
that
know.
down on your
I do
pad,
too.
Holly.
I love their program, so I don't mind paying for it, but people are bitching all over the place.
So 36 miles, and you're tapering, and
The Sugar Badger.
all right.
I continued with the training too, but I might change that. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm not really training for anything. I mean, Brazos in December. There's nothing really to train.
I know, right?
So I'm
There's
actually
always
kind of,
Mad City.
I know. Come to
Yeah.
Mad City with us.
That's only November. It's like,
Mad City, bitch.
It's like exactly 24 weeks. It's like
So,
6 months.
I did like all the training. Like I did all the tempos, all the fucking repeats, all the 400s, the 800s. I did exactly what she told me. I did the fucking treadmill, 15% hikes. And now I'm like, I got nothing. My motivation this week was a
Yeah.
little bit low, I'd say.
It's really hard.
Yeah. It's a little discouraging. I'll survive, but I'll bounce back.
Speaking of low motivation, we have a guest this week.
What about you running, Scott?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't go. I've overcome my whatever that injury on the misnagmac thing that Holly was talking about.
The Pezanserine.
Yeah, that.
What?
what?
Milwaukee?
So then I Yeah, that part.
Owie.
Talk to my coach about what we're gonna do with my focus, and it's gonna be we're gonna focus on the Yeti, and if the Yeti doesn't happen, we're gonna focus on the Brazos. So we're excited about that.
If Brazos doesn't happen,
it feels good to know what I'm doing and to be training for it. And then, so this week, my goal is to do all of my assigned runs from Liza, who's not particularly strict. And we talked about a bunch of other stuff on the thing too. And for example, this band of runners, I'm going to help them with their fundraising. So this movie that we've been talking about, the virtual trail running film, all the money goes to the band of runners, and we're going to try and make that into a big Zoom event. But that doesn't have anything to do with my running. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what makes me happy. Holly.
what is Trail Fest? What does that mean? Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah, well, let's put that on your sheet too. Anyway,
how's your
I'm
week?
just kind of getting through my last week of having to run in my 1.1 mile loop, and looking forward to Fridays breaking out of the world. Although I should add, I did go to Wisconsin on Saturday to award my sister her first half marathon medal when she finished. So me and Kyla, we hauled ass up there. My sister, she spread it out over, when the Sugar Badger was coming up, I said to my sister and my niece, hey, my sister's dream is to run a 5K someday. Why don't we one up that and have her do a half marathon over a period of time? So her and my niece did it together. Then they finished, and we surprised them. We gave them their medal. Then we went back home. So I was in free country for a little while. In Wisconsin, is it free?
Yeah.
Like really free.
They broke out.
Like we went to some gas stations and stuff. There's like restaurants with just crowds of people, and nobody cares.
Oh.
Everyone's just loving life up there. So kind of it's very strange. I think it would be weird if we went from like Texas to Wisconsin, but I think like Chicago, which is like jail, to Wisconsin, which is like a free, very, very stark contrast.
Wow.
So speaking of places that are free, we have a guest. Mindy Duncan. There's another name in there somewhere, right? Mindy something?
Campbell.
Duncan? Huh?
Well,
Right?
Campbell, that's my maiden name.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So are you just Mindy Duncan?
Mindy Duncan. Yeah, Campbell's my maiden name.
Oh, Mindy Campbell-Duncan. That's what it was.
Yes.
Also known as Crotch Fire.
I was going to say, that's what I thought you were referring
Mindy
to.
Crotch Fire.
Which-
All the
You
way
gave me that.
from where in Florida?
Niceville.
Ooh.
Which
Wow.
is on the Panhandle and their Central Time.
Correct.
Really?
It's basically between Destin, Pensacola, between Panama City Beach, Pensacola. Those are more common.
And are you?
But it's a nice little town.
Is it free country?
It's definitely more open now, but still with restrictions. But you would not have guessed that at the beach today. 25% capacity type thing for the restaurants. Churches were open Sunday. I'm not sure all the restrictions on some things, but gym opened a week ago. My gym, I haven't been yet. I'm not ready, but
You got a tire I saw on Facebook, like a Trail Toes
I
tire.
did. I've used it once. I was going to use it today, but
It looks like an ATV tire or some shit.
yeah, I need to weigh it because I'm not sure what weight I got. But
Well, we know Mindy back from our turkey trot days. She did the turkey trot with us. She's coming back.
Someone's calling me.
That seems like 100 years ago.
it does seem like a while back.
Yeah.
It's 5 months ago.
I know.
Yeah.
Not even a half a year.
I was thinking about this winter. Whoa, Blaine, you barked at me. That's so weird. He never barks.
He wants to be on camera.
Wow. Anyway, I was thinking this winter when I was training for the pot 150, and how that just seems like 5 years ago. Like it was just a few months ago.
Time has compressed. What are you training for with your tire there, Mindy?
Well, I don't know yet for sure. I mean, the Ozark Foothills was the one I was supposed to do April, then it got rescheduled for Memorial Day weekend, and a week and a half before it got canceled. So the only thing I'm on the wait list for Sugar Badger, or no, I'm on the wait list for the Badger 100, and I just signed up for the range to, I'm gonna mess up the name of it probably. Ridge to Rolling Ridge, or it's Oak Mountain State Park in Alabama, outside Birmingham. That is in August.
That's only a few hours from you though, right?
Yeah, about 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So
what
that
was
one's
gonna
got quite a
be-
bit of elevation.
What was going to be your big race for this year?
Well, the Ozark Foothills 100 would have been my first 100 trail. So that was really all I had.
Is that in Arkansas?
That's in outside St. Louis.
Oh yeah.
I'm from St.
Our-
Louis.
Our good friend Shalani, who said that we were unethical for doing a virtual race.
Oh,
Did you catch that?
I didn't
Yeah,
see
I didn't, but I'm enjoying the virtual races. I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, we should do a segment on that too, but just as a side note, she posted this long rant about how all the race directors doing virtual races are unethical and basically stealing, and anyone that's doing it's stupid. And I said, well, I don't think I'm unethical. And
not at all.
she was very salty about the whole thing. And it was a very, I couldn't understand, like, it seems to me that most race directors are doing something virtual and overwhelmingly runners are doing something virtual.
Yeah.
Like everybody here, raise your hand if
Maybe
you're doing
not.
something virtual.
Yeah.
Holly? Yeah, thank you. So I don't understand what the virtue is of saying everyone's stupid, but
Yeah.
she wouldn't back down either. And I was a little disappointed, I'll be honest with you, because we sent buffs to that race and we sent people to go work at aid stations to that race. I was just like, wow.
It was kind of harsh.
It was really
Yeah,
neat.
I'll have to. I must have obviously missed that, but now I'm interested in going back and.
it's interesting. Like I think like during this, let's call it the COVID time, like I don't know, like we look back when it's all over and think, like it affects everybody differently, right? And some people, it affects us all differently daily sometimes, right? Do you just like set it aside or be like, well, like it was really high stress, crazy time, and just be like, move on, or or do you be like, well, now we really know how that person is or how they really feel, or like how do you deal with it going forward is kind of like something I've been thinking about.
Well, I think there's two parts to what you're saying. One is that I think that the stress of Corona is kind of like alcohol. I think it just brought out more of whatever you were.
Yes.
Like angry people got angrier and nice people got nice. Maybe even so nice that you wanted to fucking slap them. Like Jameson Swift,
Anxious
he's a good
people
example,
got
right?
more
He's like so fucking helpful that I want to smack him in the head, like, but there's one other thing. There's another part of it, and I think it's that if you look at I did a post in the Nation about if we were going to have a race, would you be willing to do it? And what, if any, changes you would want? And we got everything from, fuck yeah, I don't need you to do anything, I just want to run, to, I don't think I'd be comfortable traveling or racing for a long time, and everything in between. So, it's affected everybody. And some of those people, the fuck yeah people, are people that you would never expect to. Like, usually, like before this all happened, if we would have sat down and said, who's going to go America and who's going to go put that mask on before you leave the house, we would have got a lot of them wrong.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, interestingly for me, I don't know that I would want things to change, but I think my behavior would change. I think there's a lot of that too. Like, I think I wouldn't want a race to change. Like, I don't want people to just have to leave right after, not gather before, like, not have any contact with aid station volunteers. This is the reason I do the races, are those things,
Right.
So I feel like some people might say, fuck yeah, open it up right now, but they're going to take their own precautions and they're going to do their own thing, but they don't want the community to be left behind.
A lot of people said that too. They were just like, well, I would bring my own things. I would worry about myself. Like I would have my crew do whatever. And I think you have to just be aware of both ends of those spectrums and try to be like as accommodating as possible to both extremes, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem is that we've started to politicize those issues such that, you know, well, Mindy needs a mask at every aid station or else, you know, and then you start belittling them and thinking that they're, you know, you're scared or you're stupid or you just understood, you wouldn't feel, you know, and vice versa, like both sides of it. And I think that, I think we just have to get to a place where we say everybody's feelings about how we're going to get better are going to be different. It's going to depend on where they live and what they've experienced and what they've been, you know, like for me, going to Wisconsin and being around everybody and seeing like, you know, 500 people standing around together is kind of like moved me a little bit in a different direction. And then I think, oh, well, being with 8 friends on the trail is a little less scary. You know, when I think everybody's just going to move at their own speed.
I also think it depends on like who you're around. I mean, for me, if I got corona, it would be bad news bears, but I don't have any underlying conditions. I don't have like heart issues or any breathing issues. So it wouldn't be terrible for me, probably. But
Just to put 90 everywhere.
But Brian like had just quit smoking a couple of months ago, so it'd be bad for him. And so I can't risk exposing myself because of the people I live with. And I think a lot of people think that way, you know?
And those people probably won't go to races. And then there's other people like, you know, like maybe Holly, you know, she's single, she lives alone, she, you know, she's not going to give it to her cat. She's like, fuck it, I'm just going to go run, you know? And,
right.
You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with either of those positions.
Right.
We have to stop using it against each other. Where are you at, Mindy? Tell us your perspective, because I don't think you answered. Did you answer the question in the group?
I did not.
Okay.
I was a little bit relieved that the Ozark Foothills was canceled because I'm a little conflicted on it, but I'm running with groups again down here, but I kind of keep my circle small. They also know I'm a nurse, and I mean, I have maybe a higher risk of being exposed, but not necessarily, because I think it's just out there. We're taking more precautions at the hospital than so. You know, I wanted to travel and see family, but at the same time, I'm like, because they're, you know, in St. Louis, but then it was that, what ifs, a lot of the what ifs. What if I get there and I'm sick? What if I leave there and I'm sick? And then of course I brought it to them. So it's kind of like, I'm not super nervous about it all, but I don't want to be that one person that somehow, you know, brings it somewhere.
Yeah. What kind of nurse are you, and where do you work in a hospital or?
Yeah, I'm in a hospital here in Niceville. It's a smaller hospital. I'm working on the med-surg unit, and you know, it's like 34 beds. We really have not been hit hard at all as far as this area.
What did you call that? The
med-surg, medical surgical, adult nursing. Yeah. So, and I'm charge nurse, so I'm really kind of at the desk. I don't I'm not in and out of the patient's room constantly, but.
Not like digging in the suture holes and shit?
Not always, yeah, no.
So it hasn't been bad there.
It really hasn't. I do have, when the hurricane came to Panama City Beach a little over a year ago, they evacuated a lot of the patients to our hospital. So we made a lot of our private rooms into semi-private rooms, and we got so of course we were staffing issues. We got a lot of travel nurses. 2 of those travel nurses that came during that time went to New York when everything first happened. And just reading the posts, it was pretty heartbreaking. I mean, they were like, I don't consider myself frontline, honestly, because I'm not right in there where these bigger cities are getting hit hard.
We've had people on that were nurses. We had Calamari, who was putting in ventilators in California. She's in LA. She's doing ventilators all day long on people. You know, we've had some pretty gruesome stories on here. But but here I have to ask you a question. I don't want you to disclose anybody's medical information or violate HIPAA in any way. What's the strangest thing you've ever had to take out of someone's butt?
I don't work ER, so So I
Ew.
haven't had to.
Nothing?
No,
Ugh.
I mean,
What's your
you know,
strangest
fecal,
taste
like
you've ever seen?
disimpactions. I mean, that's like, you know, that's the worst I've had to do is take out what's supposed to be there. That unfortunately is some people can't get out on their own. But no, I've heard stories. But
Okay, what's the
But-
weirdest thing you've ever heard of anybody else taking out of someone's butt? Come on, you're in the panhandle. It
yeah,
had to have been like a laptop computer. All kinds of
Lots of
crazy
butt
shit.
stuff up there, huh?
there was. I'm having a mind blank. My nerves are getting into me, getting busted me. I'm not sure, but I'll probably think of it later, and then I'll like stir up the whole
Blurt it
conversation
out.
by throwing that out there.
Just blurt it out if it comes to mind.
Yeah. Just like an hour from now, just be like,
I
trash
also
compactor
worked,
bag.
so I did.
Hi, guys.
I worked pediatrics in NICU for most of my career so far. I've only been in med surg with adults for 3 years now. So I switched over a completely different role. And, you know, kids, I mean, stick things everywhere. But like I said, I wasn't ER. So, you know, when they come to us, they're out.
Are you planning to come to the Badger still?
I hope so. I actually work that weekend, so I've got to work some magic to get that weekend off if it happens. But I'm gonna definitely try to be there. So I just pulled Memorial Weekend. I was supposed to be off, and picked up my shifts back because the race was canceled. So, and then I work 4th of July weekend. So I'm hoping I can pull a weekend off somehow.
What about the turkey trot?
I really want to because Scott said you haven't done it if you haven't done it both ways, but I'll have my kids this time. So unless something changes, and I'll probably have to work. I don't know. I have to work. I either have to work or I'll have my kids. So
Sounds like she's shuffling excuses left.
How many kids do you have?
3. Only
Oh,
one
you
still at home. Pardon?
I just asked how old they were.
My oldest is 26, and she's in Orlando. She just started a job at Full Sail University teaching art history. So she spent a year in London getting her master's in art history, and fortunately got this job in January. She really wanted to be in New York. She had applied for an internship for 12 months at a museum. She really wants to be a curator. But it's apparently a really hard job to get. You have to wait for someone to die or something. So she got this job in Orlando teaching online. So it's not affected her job at all. So,
Nice.
and my son's in Mississippi at Hattiesburg. He went away for college for 1 year, didn't do as well as we would have liked. So,
Oh.
so
Right?
he's a really good kid. He's having fun there, but not going to school right now. So he's working and trying to adult right now. And then I have a 16-year-old that's still home. So
So did anyone think that 2 of those kids were going to be over the age of 18?
Fuck no.
No,
That
that doesn't look
7
possible.
and 12.
Damn, girl.
thank you.
And they're in college, so she did a good job too, right?
Yeah.
Well, my son's not right now, but
No,
he'll get there.
he will be. He's just learning the ropes.
He's got to figure out what he wants to do. He's a good
Yeah.
kid. It's
Hard.
he liked to play video games more than he liked to study, but he's a very smart kid. So
Did you have a lot of races that got canceled?
just the let's see, what was the first one?
Ozark, Foothills.
Ozark. Well, yeah, the Ozark Foothills, and then it got rescheduled and then canceled. So
It's kind of technically too.
kind of, yeah. I had like a mud run that was canceled. That was supposed to have been
Ah, thank God.
this month.
So
Yeah.
let's get back to the basics here. How long have you been running? How did you get started running? Those basic stuff.
I started running. I did my first half marathon in 2009. So I'd never ran before that, other than I think at elementary school 1 year of little St. Peter's Track Club because a friend was doing it. But I was that kid with asthma that wasn't even allowed to go outside for recess when it was cold. So, but in 2009, I started. My sister started running, and she was doing half marathons, and just hearing her talk about it. My husband at the time he's retired Air Force, so he went to Korea for a year and I just started running while he was gone. That was kind of my outlet, my time away from kids too, because I had my oldest daughter was old enough to kind of be home with the other kids. So that was it. First 2009, and then that's kind of what 2019 was my 10-year anniversary of running. So I'd gotten into ultras before that and wanted to celebrate my 10 years of running with a 100K at the beginning of the year and then a 100-miler by the end of the year. So that's
Cool.
why I searched for the turkey. I randomly came across the turkey trot looking for 100-milers for the end of the year. So
How did you like the Cloudland Canyon 50 mile?
I like that. Did you look at my ultra sign up?
No, I just knew that you did it.
Oh.
Totally stalking you.
I loved it. That was fun. That was kind of my first time of the elevation, getting out in the elevation a little bit. And was it a 50? I think that was a 50K I did.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I signed up for another one. Actually, one of my good friends registered me for the next year and paid for it and used her emails. So when we ended up, they kind of bailed on me last minute, her and her husband, so we didn't make it. So that's why I have that did not show that bothers me, which she says she emailed him about, but it's still there.
Oh.
Which
What she said is it did not show.
did not start, whatever. Did not start. Yeah,
Is that the run bum?
that was, yeah.
I can take care of that for you.
Swears to me that she emailed him and said we weren't going to be there, because I'm like, please make sure you let him know. But it is what it is. So.
And what's your dream race?
Well, right now it's the Badger 100, but if that doesn't happen, then I'll get to another one. I don't know. I just kind of take one at a time and see. I feel like I want to keep challenging myself to something, I feel like I need to have a DNF on there somewhere to like show I haven't tried, I've tried it.
Every
Pardon?
time you're gonna get a DNF if you keep trying.
Oh, I know I will. I want to keep telling. I really, at Rebecca Mountain, honestly, at 6 miles, I wanted to quit. So that was a hard one.
On that Cloudland Canyon, because that's a run bum, right?
Not
That happened.
Oh.
All you gotta do is talk shit about him.
Yep.
I'll stay out of that drama.
Yeah, I tried to do that too.
Yeah.
We're almost in the clear, but once I put up that Billy Barnett podcast, that whole thing's coming right back again.
I'm gonna step away real quick and let my dog out.
Scott's ability to stay out of the middle of stuff is like 0%.
Yeah.
Somehow he always like works his way in as an intermediary or
Have we had a show since then?
Like, if you want to just talk
No.
about it, just talk.
No. Holly will tell you. I was doing nothing. I was minding my own goddamn business.
Yeah.
And who was coming at me on the goddamn Instagram?
Sean.
The run bum.
I saw it all happen.
He blocked
Really?
me. He blocked
On
me
the gram?
for years. For years, he hated me and blocked me. And then when this thing comes down, he came on the Instagram because he heard on the street that I hated the marathon investigator.
He was like, bro, we got to talk.
What?
I was like, Scott, I think you need to see this.
That's how I got involved.
What on
He
earth?
called me on the phone. He wanted to talk.
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
He hated the marathon investigator.
After he blocked you everywhere for like a year.
More than a year.
With your buddy, because he wanted a mediator. He viewed you as someone who could be neutral and and not take everybody else's side, right?
You know how stupid I am?
Well,
I gave it a lot of time. And then I did a podcast about it, and then everyone hates me. Everyone's mad at me on both sides.
You know what you got to do with these guys who won't stop texting you, Scott? With all these guys that won't stop texting you,
There's a lot of
tell them,
guys
fucking stop texting me. That's what you got to say.
Did anyone listen to that
I'm
podcast?
getting from this that Rachel gets a whole bunch of guys that text her and won't stop texting her. Is that what I'm hearing? Does Brian know?
Did anyone else listen to that podcast other than Holly?
No, I didn't listen to it.
Mindy? Rachel?
Marathon investigator one?
Yes, I
No.
did.
Oh, no, I listened to the Marathon
I did.
Investigator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. So
No, I think you handled everything beautifully. I think people are just going to look for ways to, if they want to be negative about something, they're going to find a way.
so I have people that are mad at me
Be a world.
for sticking up for him because I made that comment about that Holly would have less to drink if he was coming. That like we know who he is, you know?
I would also like,
Yeah.
Should wear like a turtleneck and
That would stop Holly from drinking more though, so I'm not sure if I believe that.
I think the problem was that people heard that and they thought that I was saying, it's no problem. Sean's coming over to do a show and Holly has a plan. She's just not going to drink as much and it's going to be all right because when he hits on her, we'll be prepared. You know, like
No.
they
No.
like totally missed the point that he's
Right.
never coming over here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying
It should have happened a long time ago. We all
I
knew this was
know.
coming. Yeah.
So then the other side of it, I got friends of his coming at me because I
Oh,
was
yeah.
sick and made him look bad.
Yeah.
I can't win, you know?
Yeah.
I'm
can't
like,
win.
There's no win on that.
I thought that I was extremely neutral. I tried to be neutral.
Usually you're pretty good at being neutral.
yeah.
Yeah.
And my focus was on not what did Sean do, not was what he did right or wrong. My focus was on should the marathon investigator have jurisdiction over old allegations of sexual misconduct? Like this seems
Yeah.
way out of his
In
wheel.
a not a marathon race.
Yeah. Do we really
Yeah.
want him being the Me Too police?
No.
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 Mindy's
No.
very quiet about this though.
but that, like,
He's
that should,
suspicious.
Yeah, this is
those
like
allegations
the region
should-
of the world here. Like we should get her opinion on this.
who?
He doesn't want to. You don't want to comment, Mindy.
Who here has done a run bum race?
Mindy.
I have, and I loved it. It was beautiful, and it was fun, and it was super well organized. And
Did he
I
hit on
mean-
you?
no, I'm like 40. Well, I don't know how old I was then, but I don't know what year I did it. But no,
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean, you see all. I mean, you know his personality by what he posts and what he says. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I probably would. I run another one again? I'm not saying I won't. You know.
Fair enough.
I've never run one, but like, I mean, everything I've seen about his races, they look like they're really quality races. And then maybe everything that's around it is not as good, but the race itself is quality. That's my, I mean, I have never run his race, so.
I just don't know if I would want to support someone that I knew wasn't a great person. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a lot of people aren't. You can be a really good race director and be not a very good person.
Be a shitty
At
person.
the end of the day, if I know that you're getting like 75% of the dollars, and your volunteers that make the race great aren't really getting anything, then am I really going to sign up for that? You know, it's a question.
I think
Like, I
that's
kind of wanted to do Wild Florida, but I don't think I'm going to do it. Oh, the coronavirus kind of put a dipper on that now. But
Right.
I think it's a great quarantine thing to think about. Like, you know, now that we can't go visit the restaurants that we like to support or like to go to and support, right? And the things we want to do, like, I think about that all the time. Like, now that we're coming out of quarantine, what do I want to go and support? Like,
Right.
who do
I
I
think-
want?
yeah,
Not
Yeah.
just random, well, let's just stop at pizza. Like, I want to support certain people,
right.
and certain
All right,
businesses.
let's go around. Let's go around. the
More
room.
on my mind.
What's number one on your list, Adam? Like the first person you want to go support.
Well, like that restaurant in town that I took you and Holly to, that Gammon Coach House, which is just that cute little bar restaurant. Like, I want to
Delicious.
go there. I
Good
want to
choice.
go there and I want to drink beer and I want to have a burger and I just want to hang out and support.
I had a patty melt.
Yeah,
Me
because
too.
it's just this really small little local restaurant business. It's, you know, and
Super
it's
cute.
nice. It's super cute.
Good beer.
Yeah, good beer, nice atmosphere, and I really want to support them.
Yeah.
Did you do anything while they were corona'd?
Yeah. I mean, I bought some gift cards and such, you know, but like,
No.
you know, but I just want to continue and I want to, you know, promote them.
Holly,
Thanks.
what's your first thing you want to promote? Or give-
Kumas.
Kuma's Corner. Okay.
Kuma's is right down the street from me. I go there often. They have great burgers, great beer selection. Yeah, so as soon as they opened, I like made an order right away, and then everybody did the same thing, and then they fucked up a lot of orders. But I still got my burger, and it was delicious. So
Mindy?
Probably there's a little coffee shop here. It's called Cafe Liquid. It's just a cute little coffee shop. So before the quarantine, all this happened back in January, my 16-year-old, who's sophomore, was just like over high school drama and just did not like high school at all. So she switched to online in January. So we didn't have to transition through any of this, but we would go up, we would get to go up and sit at a coffee shop and do homework. And that was kind of a fun little bonus of her not being at school. So I'd probably little coffee shops around here. There's more than that one, but we've frequented a few.
Rachel?
What I did this quarantine was I started buying my running shoes from like local run specialty stores in Michigan that I know the people at. I think I'm gonna just continue doing that. I think I'm gonna order stuff from friends and just have them ship them to me instead of like ordering shoes online or going to Fleet Feet. Even though I love Fleet Feet too, I would support Fleet Feet as well.
Brick and mortar?
Yeah, like a brick and mortar store that my friends own in Michigan, and they were just they make this great website where you can chat with somebody like while you're looking at their stuff online, and you can purchase from them and ask questions. They do virtual shoe fittings, and it's like I can have a Zoom call. You have like a Zoom call, and they look at you watch. Yeah, pretty much. These are my feet. So, like, what shoes do I?
Don't show us your feet. Nobody wants to see that shit.
I bought some shoes from Fleet Feet. I bought a double pack, and they were very grateful, and they were very nice. I like them.
Yeah.
My first thing is me and Kyla are going to the Cincinnati Zoo.
Nice.
They've kept me very entertained out here.
Isn't that where the penguin's at?
No, that's where the hippo is.
Hippo.
Fiona.
Oh yeah.
Fiona.
And she could come to the Zoom call. We could book her on the show, but she's $750.
You can fork that. Work it out.
Yeah.
We could put the hippo on the show for $750. Would that be crazy?
Yeah. What are you eating, Scott?
Peanuts. Makes me feel like I wish I was at the ballpark.
Have you gotten any mail?
Packages for us?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have 3 packages.
Okay.
But I was waiting until we do it in person.
Well, yeah, I figured.
We could do it in person next week, As early as next week, we could have a live show.
Do you guys get heartburn when you run?
I have occasionally, sure.
It hurts so bad.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That's what Scott's mom said.
Routinely you do, or just recently?
No, I had it tonight, and I was like, I think it's because it's so hot.
Or you ate something. What did you eat different?
Nothing. Pizza, salad, huge.
So my watch told me today that I was 38% heat acclimated.
What the fuck is
And in
that?
combination with that, I bought the Sunto 9 and I hated it. And then I went back to my Garmin 920 for a long time. And then last week I was like, you know what? Fuck it, the world's ending. And I bought myself a new Garmin Phoenix, whatever, 6X Pro. Because it was $100 off.
Let me see it.
Tell us about that watch. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, yeah. Tell us more.
So if you've ever had a Garmin, it's like the easiest fucking thing to use ever. And the Sunto was like above my pay grade, maybe. You had to, and I love the Garmin. It's just like was plug and play, easy as easy. The battery life is forever, and I just love it. So
it's like more user friendly.
I bought it, and then I went and told Josie, I'm like, so I just bought a $600 watch, and she's like, oh. Usually when we buy things that are, more than $100 or $200, we discuss it as a, just politeness, I guess. But I just
Could you sell the Sunto?
I think I'm gonna sell the Sunto because it's a great watch. It's just like
Not for
having
you.
to do it online and like I don't like. It's not that I can't do technology because I can. I just don't. I like running to be as simple as possible, and then I also like at the same time as much data as possible. So the Sunto just didn't fit my persona, let's say. So I think I'll sell it, for cheap. I don't really care.
Sounds like it's just like
just don't
not a
need
watch that fits you.
Yeah. So I'm just happy to be back to the Garmin. And then like part of the Garmin thing for me was I have this, I've been using this Running Ahead app to track my mileage since like 2010.
What's it called?
It's called runningahead.com. It's free. It tracks my mileage. It does a bunch of stupid graphs. And Sunto doesn't link up with it, just Garmin does. So, because it's 100 years old, but that was enough for me. But that was my, like one only impulsive Corona buy.
I made a major purchase yesterday, Corona related. New hot water
Okay.
heater.
Ooh.
What is it?
Hot water heater.
Nice. Well,
Those are fucking
That's not fun.
expensive.
you were having trouble with that last year because Kyla messaged me about it.
$2,500.
Yeah. Did you get a tankless?
I don't know.
Do
You
each
know?
so you have your own water heater in your
Yeah.
unit? Okay.
Why
I
did
don't
you
know
get a
anything
new
about
one?
it. Huh?
Why did you get a new one?
The old one is kaput.
Yeah, they only last like 10 years usually.
This is 14 years old.
Yeah. So.
Damn.
My
Kaput.
mom had to get a new stove and oven, like a whole new thing today. She called me. She was anxious about it. She's like, I don't want to go to Home Depot. I'm like, I don't know, Mom.
The stresses of the Corona time.
Kyla bought a big fancy grill. That was her big Corona purchase.
Oh, that's awesome.
Holly,
She
did you buy anything?
She had breakfast on the grill the other day.
Mm.
What's your big purchase?
I'm gonna get a brand new car.
Whoa!
Really?
What are you
Yeah.
getting?
Really?
Yeah,
Big
well,
smile.
it's like a 2019.
That's new.
That's new.
new. What
What is
kind?
it?
What kind of car?
You getting a Ferrari?
Jeep? Get a Jeep.
A Tesla?
Wrangler.
So it's a little bittersweet, but my friend Yama is moving to Brazil and she can't take her car. And I was just like, I should buy it, just like joking. And she was like, yeah, you should. And so I am. It's a 2019 Crosstrack Subaru.
Oh, nice. That's
Four-wheel
a good
drive.
car.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I should have it by August, I think.
That is the same, by the way. Interesting. That's the same car as Todd Brown.
Hmm.
There you go. Just saying. What do you drive, Mindy?
I drive a little Honda Accord, which I call my Honda because it's missing the H on front. And it's very close to 200,000 miles. I'm watching it so I can like catch that.
Awesome.
Did you buy anything in the quarantine?
I did. I got a paddleboard. So didn't get
Cool.
to use it today. Went to the beach today, but the red flag was out and I didn't go.
Can we ask what
I also got a termite bond on my house. That was my other major purchase.
Oh,
what
So
is
that was needed.
what's the price range on a stand-up paddleboard?
Depends on which, I mean, you can go several thousand or you can go 900. Depends on what you get and if you get inflatable. I didn't get the biggest, but I didn't want the inflatable either. So, I mean, they have some pretty like, I don't know, detailed ones and fishing ones and very high. I paid about $1,400 for mine. So it's a nice little one.
You guys, there's no surfing there, right?
No, not unless, not except for when the hurricane's about to come and the crazies go out. So.
What about you, Rachel?
I bought a blender, a Vitamix blender.
How's that working out for you?
I'm blending the shit out of so much stuff.
Oh my God, tell me more. What did you blend?
I just put a lot of frozen fruit in it with some sort of liquid, and then smoothies come out.
Do you add like shit you wouldn't normally eat, like spinach or like grain, like some sort of super grain or any bullshit.
No, it's just straight up sweetest fruit I can find. It's mostly for Imogen, like, because we're trying to limit our grocery shopping to once every 2 weeks. So you just get a bunch of frozen fruit and juice, and that's her fruit for like 2 weeks. So, but
Yeah.
I do add some protein powder every once in a while and drink some myself.
Nice.
Our friend David Clark died. Good guy. He we helped finance his, me and Mishka actually both helped finance his first book, and I've known him since before he was an author. He was a pretty legendary dude, and he went in for a routine back discectomy and didn't end well. So he's going to be greatly missed, along with actor Fred Willard, Kent Osmond, who was Eddie Haskell on the Beaver, Coach Jerry Sloan, and that's it. But I haven't had any hits. Anybody had any hits?
Oh,
No hit.
I didn't even do it this year. I can't remember.
Can't remember. Mindy, are you in the Deadpool?
I'm not in the Deadpool.
Is that, as a nurse, is that unethical? Or
No, I think it'd be fun. I just never. I'm still trying to get in Slack. I'm like on it, but I've yet to comment. Like I'm baby stepping into things.
Just say hi. Just write hi. That's it. That's all you need.
I've done some of the Zoom.
whole counterculture. They're there all day. It never stops.
No, I like remember reading one time and I'm like, oh, I can comment about this. And then I went and like did something and came back and they're like on a whole nother subject. So I'm like, all right, well, my comment now would be a little late. So
So we have a guest coming that I have to actually invite now, and I don't know how do I bring somebody in now?
dude, I don't know.
You're asking
Okay,
me.
go to the bottom of your screen.
Rachel knows, of course.
It says invite.
Okay.
Click on that. And then choose from the list, but I don't have any people on the list, so.
Okay, I have his email address here.
Mindy, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Blue Point Imperial Sunshine.
Is that a little-
Mm.
It's got orange. No, it's actually not. But a guy I ran with recently had them, and it's really good. But it's like 9.6%, so I'm not going to have too much.
That's how you get yourself talking and not nervous. And
Did you figure it out?
I made a link, and now I'm sending him the link. This
If
is
you
our
go to
friend-
participants at the bottom and click on that,
you could probably just forward him the email and then message him.
yeah,
and
then
tell
he can
him,
just
click on the-
join.
And
That
just
too,
click on
yeah.
the link. You just join.
Yeah. Well, this is our friend Casey. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Thurviage,
Oh, from Canada?
Canadian Casey.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
He's doing a virtual race that I heard about, and I thought you guys might be interested in hearing about because it sounded different and good.
Are you doing the tip to tip, Mindy? Are you doing that virtual tip to tip?
No, I'm doing the virtual.
Just the tip.
Just the tip? You're doing just the tip.
Just the tip. I'm like up in one tip, right? I am doing the race across Tennessee though.
Yeah, I'm doing that one too. And then I'm like, well, I'm already doing that. I might as well do the race across.
Do the
Yeah,
tip.
The tip to tip too, right?
Just the tip.
I mean,
I
can
can't remember
call it
what
tip
was
to
that.
tip? Can I do it? And you can call it the tip.
I don't know. I remember reading about that, and I can't remember if it does some of the money go somewhere.
I don't know. I looked at it
Yeah.
just for a second.
This is
There's
the
one in Missouri too that a friend sent me that, that would be a fun one to do just since
Missouri.
that's where I'm from.
But Eric Strand just finished that Katy Trail thing too.
Yeah.
Oh, is he done?
He's done. Yeah, he finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he do the thing?
He did the whole Katy Trail in like 3 days and 14 hours or some shit.
Nice.
You raised a
Wow.
bunch of money too.
He raised like
Nice.
40 grand or something like that.
Wow.
It was pretty impressive. Yeah.
He's an incredibly good dude, Eric Strand. So
Yeah.
He's a super
Sure.
dude.
yeah. So here's my idea. We're gonna bring Casey in to tell us about his race, which doesn't involve any tips. And after he's done, what I'm thinking is, would it be fun or would it be crazy for us to invite the Slack and the nation just generally, but mute them all?
Mute them all
come to the
100%.
show.
Do you think
Oh,
that
I'm sad. I'm on my iPad, so I only can see 9 people. So I should be on my daughter's laptop.
I mean, we might get 0 people or we might get 500.
I mean, you can go grab it. It's not that big a deal. Probably get like
the last
500.
time show though, right? So
Yeah.
might as well go
Yeah.
watch.
Fuck it.
We'll go out in style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
It'd be
do we
especially
wanna-
fun if we name the Patreons and some of them are them.
Yeah.
you
And
know?
they're actually there listening in real time. It could be like a live podcast.
Kind of, except we'll mute them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you can't talk. Come to this show, but you can't talk.
So what Running Fit did was they
Running Fit. Oh, time out. We have our guest,
hi.
Casey.
Oh, there he is.
Casey, whom I ran with exactly one time in Indiana. I think you're.
Casey, how do you say your last name?
How do you pronounce your last name, Casey?
He's
You're
muted.
Muted.
Hold
Oh,
on.
there we go.
There we go.
Now? There we go.
Andy, you're awesome. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Tiviege.
I'm sorry, what?
French.
It's really French. Tiviege.
TVH.
Well, the reason why I wanted Casey to come
It's a sharp T.
is Casey was on the Adventure Jogger explaining a new virtual race that he's putting on. And I said, that sounds interesting. We should have him on our show and he should explain it to us. And it's Canadian, so, it's going to be a little different. But
So kilometers?
yeah, mostly.
No, actually, I'm a miles guy.
All right.
I live in a border city, so I'm all miles, and I work in the tool and die trade, so I'm all miles and inches and Fahrenheit and all that stuff.
I'm about inches too.
Just the tip
Or
though.
4.
All right, Casey, let her rip. What do you got going on up there in Canada? Way up.
All right. So
Way up there.
the first thing is it's not a virtual race. I want to call it a challenge. It's more of kind of a personal challenge. You don't get anything for this, hence the steep fee of free to join.
It's free.
You and the Canadians
It's
are
free.
Dave Proctor's offering shit for free too.
Free?
Everything's free up here. So the way it works, we got a Facebook group page. It's called the We Ultra 7 Quarters Challenge. Like I said, it's just a personal challenge. It's kind of like that Goggins 4x4x48, or maybe, we see the Yeti 24 hours, stuff like that. But I think those are
free in Canadian.
Yeah. So I think those are awesome challenges, but we decided to do something that was more not about so much sleep deprivation. I want it to be about running. So we wanted to just make it super easy, super simple. So we decided we're going to do 7 quarters of a day. So 6-hour periods are a quarter day. Yeah, and it's going to be pretty easy. You're basically going to run a 20 miler in the first 6 hours. So you have to start on evening. Here's the kicker. It doesn't have to be any particular day, but whatever works for you. So for most people, I would say Friday night is going to be like the typical start time. 6 p.m. start, not a minute sooner. You can start later if you want, that's fine, but you have to be done by midnight, and you got to get a 20 miler in.
So many rules.
There's a lot of simple rules. There's about 5 or 6 of them.
How many?
Maybe 5 or 6 rules.
I wanted you to say about again. That's all.
Sounds like he's from Wisconsin.
Okay, continue.
That first
Sorry.
6 hours, that first 6 hours is pretty simple. It's 3.33 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
So a walker can do this, right? It's not too hard. So then the nice part about our challenge is that after this, you get to go home, eat, sleep in your bed. Don't worry about all this crazy night running. You got a 6-hour break. So that second quarter day, you get to log 0 miles and just do whatever you got to do. Then you get up at 6 a.m. or if you want to sleep until 8 a.m., that's fine, whatever. But between 6 a.m. and noon, you got to do another 20 miles. It's not that bad. It's 3.33 miles per hour, right? It's all
Okay.
good.
That's good. I like this.
Okay. I'm
So
in
then,
so far.
So, and if you run it fast, then you can even have more time off.
Right.
If you knock out like a 3-hour 20
We'll
miles,
suffer more.
then you can have a 9-hour break before your next one. Because between noon and 6 p.m., you don't have to do anything. You get to go home, eat, do whatever you can fit in that time period. If you want to build a shed or cut the grass or teach an aerobics class or whatever.
Feed the goats, feed the chickens.
Yeah, all that stuff. So, you got the whole day basically to yourself. And then 6 p.m. rolls around. You got to do your, what are we on here? We're on our next quarter day. So 6 p.m. till midnight, you got to do another 20 miles. But it's only 3.33 miles per hour. It's not hard.
So how long does this continue on for?
So hold on, that was our 5th quarter day. So we just got a couple more to go. So, but again, the sweet part about this challenge is every time it gets hard, it gets easy again because you get a 6-hour break. So from midnight to 6 a.m., you get another break. That's your 6th quarter day. And then it's a victory lap. The 7th quarter day starts at 6 a.m. until noon. So in this example, it would be Sunday morning. Just knock out another 20 and you're done.
Knock it out.
That's
Easy.
it.
So you're
It's
doing
in Vegas for a hooker.
What's that?
so it's 80 miles total?
Yeah, but I don't like to look at it like that.
No, why would you?
It's 20 miles at a time.
I
And
like
if
to
you
think of it
just
as a
equate
weekend.
it for the next quarter day and knock
Yeah,
out 20 miles, then you could do a whole 100.
Well, yeah, if you want to get the bonus lap in, sure. But that's up to people to do that on their own. I would never push that on someone. That's starting to get a little crazy.
I think
Holly has a
go
question.
on until people stop.
Holly either wants to do the bonus one or she's got a question.
Adam, what'd you say?
Well, I just said it sounds like a weekend in Vegas for a hooker.
No, think about it. This event, this challenge is like really set up for the runner. It's pretty easy, really. There's
Have you done
no
it?
deadline. There's no deadline to do this. So if you want to do it in December or something, that'd be cool too. But
Did you
think
do
about
it
it. There's no, I haven't, but I'm lined up to go tomorrow night. So
Oh.
I'll be starting tomorrow night.
Is this
Get
something
the popcorn out.
that people can sign up for?
Yeah,
How do
basically
you
it's
do
pretty
that?
easy. It's pretty easy. Go to the Facebook group page called We Ultra 7 Quarters Challenge and just join the group page, declare that you're going to do the run. And we're going to keep track of all the finishers and stuff and put your name on a fancy spreadsheet if you finish. And that's really your reward. And
What's the group again?
what's that? The group, We Ultras 7 Quarters Challenge.
And he's going to give me the link and I'll put it in the show notes so you guys can go join.
Sure.
If you want to, now can they come there and just watch you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, come and harass and watch and, make fun of people because I'll be doing that for sure. So there'll be lots of good entertainment here. I'm trying to urge people to run their first and second 20 as hard as they can.
It's a good plan. You get more rest.
That's right. More.
Whereas
But this challenge is good. It's less than 2 days long, right? 42 hours, so it's less than 2 days. You don't have to be fast. You only got to run 4 times, not like those other challenges where you got to run 6 times or 12 times or whatever. You
And
never have to run in the heat of the day.
Yeah, you can have a whole day of not having to worry about
There's
getting
breaks in this. Yeah, there's you could probably have more break time than running time if you do it right.
How many people have finished so far?
0. Nobody has started it. I think I'm going to be the first one to start it tomorrow night. So me and a buddy, Patrick Hutt, are going to go out, and we have a little unique spin that we're going to do for this event. So
What is it?
wow. Okay. Yeah. We were going to keep it a secret, but it's not that much of a secret. We're just going to do our 420 milers, completely different disciplines. So we're going to mix up the running, put it that way.
So
It's easy,
like
so throw an extra challenge in there.
a track, a treadmill, a road.
A trip.
Yeah, we're going to
Talking about, or are we talking like biking and hiking?
No. This is, you got to run or walk this.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna do hills, we're gonna do track, we're gonna do trails, and we're gonna do road.
Okay.
That's how we do it. If this all goes as planned.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll put that in the show notes. And just before we let you go, how's your quarantine going up there? What's your status in Canada?
It's pretty good. Things are starting to loosen up a little bit, but everyone's still trying to abide by the recommended guidelines, the provincial guidelines, the federal guidelines. But we've been pretty good here. We haven't had too much community spread. It's been seemed to be localized, like I guess contained within like nursing homes and stuff. But yeah, people are still quarantining, but people have been getting back to work the last couple of weeks, and seems to be okay. And people are keeping their wits about them, I guess. We've been trying to keep people motivated with running and doing some virtual challenges and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been fun.
Adam has a question.
Sure.
So you're in Canada, so there's what, 7 provinces, I think? Provinces? I'm not sure.
Exactly.
Say that.
10.
10. Okay. So has the quarantine, has that been a federal situation, or has it been per province?
From what I understand, each province is a little bit different. Obviously, there's some federal regulations that more or less apply to the borders and so on. But really, each province is dealing with their issues or regulations on their level. No different than you guys would do per state type thing.
Okay.
And then my last question was, you're in what? You're in Windsor, right?
Yeah, I'm outside of Windsor, about 30 minutes outside of Windsor, but I run
fit to America, basically, from where you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
How does it feel?
We're South Detroit.
This is the first time in your life where you can't go to America.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's very strange because we're like, me and my wife, we're across the border quite a bit, whether we're vacationing or seeing friends or just doing, miscellaneous things or running over there, or like most of the races I run, honestly, are in the States.
Do we have an idea when that's going to change?
There's some kind of speculation about like around June 20th or June 21st date is kind of floating out there right now, but that's not carved in stone. It's what we know for sure is they won't open before then.
Yeah. So
Crazy,
we may
right?
never have another time in our lives where we can't go to Canada.
Yeah.
I used to go to Windsor all the time when I was like 19 to drink.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's behind the Iron Curtain.
Yeah. For a little while.
It's like the Hunger Games. Can't go over there.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like District 13 right there.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for stopping by. I heard it. I thought this is interesting. We have stupid people in our group that would probably be all about this, even though there's no swag, there's no medal. I mean, you got like a hat or a buff. Is there anything?
People have been asking, but it's all about the joy of running and challenging yourself. So come on out, have fun with it, join the page, get into the banter and everything. We're gonna have fun, get motivated. So it's all good.
And how much does it cost again?
It is free.
100% free.
100% free.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and make sure you just message me that
Yeah, we'll do.
the link, and we'll throw it in there.
We'll do. Thanks for having me.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, man. See ya.
There we go. I kind of like that feature. That's kind of cool. You just bring somebody in, and
Then kick them out.
Have you ever done that just for shits and giggles? It's like do a 20-miler like on Friday night and then wake up at 6 a.m. and do it again on Saturday morning?
No.
So I just actually had this conversation with a friend of mine because I wanted to do the 50-mile sugar badger on Saturday again. And then another friend of ours was going to get married. And so I was like, well, I can't do that all day. So I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday of next weekend. That's the bonus of my weekends off is I actually usually have a four-day stretch. And since the Ozark Foothills got canceled, it was going to be 4 26-mile loops.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to do a loop Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday instead as my challenge. But now the wedding's moved till Sunday, so I can do the 50 miles on Saturday. So I think I'm throwing that other idea out the window.
I think that would be tough. I mean,
I think it'd be tough.
yeah.
One year in the winter, I did this winter night race in Omer, Michigan called the Winter Witchy Wolf Run. There's like 75 people. It's in the middle of nowhere. You're running on all these snowmobile trails. And it's like, it starts at 6 p.m. and it's like 16 miles about. It's hard though. It's really hard. hard footing, just not an easy race. It's in the dark. There's no one around. You're like kind of running for your life. It's like the Deliverance area of Michigan. It's kind of scary.
Telling that's very good.
All right, so here's what I want to do.
The next day, I got up and did this run with some of my friends who were like, decided to run this trail in the middle of winter that was very, very poorly marked and relied on all of these PDFs of Boy Scout trails. And my phone immediately froze. So we're like navigating these trails through the middle of Michigan.
Hold on, Rachel.
It was a good 20
Microwaving a rabbit?
What?
Looks
Sorry,
like
I
microwaving
didn't
a
catch that.
rabbit in the microwave there.
What's happening?
It has like the beaded things inside the middle that heat up, and it's for like, sorry, for not being personal, it's for cramps, for cramping, you know.
Ah,
So,
You're so embarrassing.
I know, my poor child.
It's like a hot water bottle.
This is
Like,
my little girl.
I
well,
That would me feel better.
but it looks like a rabbit, right? It's a rabbit, right?
Well, we'll show you in a minute. Is it a rabbit? No,
that what
it
you
is a
wanna do?
rabbit.
I want to get the business out of the way so I can bring the folks in.
Do you want to talk about
There
Strava?
we go. There we go.
No, first we're gonna do the advertisement quick. This episode is brought to you by Exoskin. Exoskin is a seamless athletic apparel 100% designed and manufactured in the USA using patented PTFE and copper fibers, three-dimensional knit structure to provide unsurpassed comfort and performance. Exoskin solves the problems runners face: chafing, blisters, hot spots, and odor, keeping you comfortable while allowing you to focus on your training or your race. Exoskin offers a full line of apparel for men and women: shirts, compression, bottoms, socks, legs, sleeves. You name it, they got. Now I think they got like water bottles and beanies. They got all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh.
Everybody that's ordering it is raving about it. The Exoskin challenge is still out there. No one's taken me up on this. Has anybody tried Exoskin and not loved it? I don't know. I haven't heard anybody.
Use Exoskin is just dumb. I mean, it's fucking awesome.
Hey, question.
What?
So are they still are they still staffed in their factories during COVID, and can you order it online?
You can order it online, and they seem to be selling it
Cool.
like hotcakes.
Cool.
I've been using those socks. I'll probably use them for that Sugar Badger. You know, anytime I go more than 20 miles, I'll put them on. It's been independently testing. It's been used for all kinds of different races, and you get a discount if you use the code TJM at checkout. TJM, 20% off. Go to exoskin.us, XOSKIN.us, and then enter the code TJM at checkout. They got a 30-day money-back guarantee. And again, I challenge you, email me. Nobody's tried it and come back and said, this sucks. So, I don't know. Also, if you want to help out the show, leave us a review on iTunes. Everybody's moving to the fucking Spotify now because Joe Rogan's fucked the whole thing up. So if you're on Spotify, and I don't know if you can leave a
It's
review.
like $100 million, though. I mean, how do you not fuck that up?
Well, soon they're going to buy me out soon, too. It's coming. I know it.
How much you getting? Like 200 million?
I think I would sell for $500. Plus or minus a couple. So leave a review like Sandbox over here, 5 stars. He says, TJM keeps me upbeat when I'm on the trail. I'm always excited for a new episode. I'd love to hear Aaron and Sam on a catch-up. Keep up the great pod. Or High Jump 88, who says, I've been listening to them for a while at work. I don't listen to anything while running. But I see how this could be enjoyable, having your friends on the long run. I've learned so much from them, and I can't wait for the next episode. Keep up the good work. I love it. 5 stars. Just leave us a review. It really moves us up on the rankings, helps us all out. Other thing you can do is go to 10junkmiles.com. We have a store. We have the race page is connected to there if you want to check out the races. We got announcements coming on there. You can click through our Amazon banner and go buy all the shit you buy at Amazon, and we get a little piece of the action. We get a little money. That's some of the money goes to Holly, you know, because she's now officially an employee, by the way. So
Unofficial.
spend up, bitches. Holly needs a new pair of shoes.
I got a car to buy.
Yeah, she's got a car to buy. Or you can buy the swag. It's all for sale. And then all the racing stuff. If you've seen people post those buffs and those arm sleeves and the what else did we have in there?
Socks?
A shirt?
Shirts. We don't have a lot of shirts left. I think there's like maybe like 6 or 7 shirts. That's it.
Yeah.
Buffs, arm sleeves, the zip bag is
Socks.
Socks. All that stuff's in the store, so you can go buy that if you want.
Nice.
And then finally, there's Patreon. But I'm gonna put that invite out. Holly, can you guys mute people too?
I think so.
The host can mute people only.
Oh, okay.
Mute ourselves.
Yeah, I can mute me.
But you can't mute the.
I think you can. What you can do, Scott, if you're the host, is you can mute everybody, and then just unmute the select people you want to talk.
Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can mute people.
Okay.
I can mute me, but that's it. Yeah. Hi,
You can
George.
mute your mom, but that's a different story.
Hey.
Can someone paste the? Oh, here it is. All right. I'm gonna post this link, and so people might show up, and I'm just gonna start muting them. And I told them all not to talk, so hopefully they'll listen.
Don't talk.
But you know how they are. Anyway, the other thing that you can do is you can help us out by joining our Patreon. What's Patreon? Well, it's this place where you can leave like $1 a month or $2 a month or $50 a month or $100 a month, and whatever you leave, it goes to us and helps pay for the bills and stuff like that. And it's these are the people that are super fans that are keeping us going, and we really appreciate them. So I'm going to take 1 to 2 minutes. Fast forward 2 minutes if you don't want to listen to this, and I'm going to name them off.
Right?
And Mindy Duncan is going to pick someone to get a free bluff. Are you ready? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Kim Bueno, 12 Paws. Your Mom Loves Mike Ditka. Jen's Grellenthaler. Paul DeLug. Mindy Duncan.
Hey,
Can't pick you. Walk Fast, Run Slow. Tyler Kirk. Ultra Runner Ferb. Deep Sea Charlie. Bandwidth with Screaming Monkeys. Toenails are overrated. Stanley Berry. Rob Dahlgren. Harry Sherwood. Fastest known time around my house. Callie Runner Liam. Jen Run Ventures. West Tex Tom. Sarah Hegeman. I Leaned Over. The Colonel. The Colonel, he got deployed. He's out there getting it done.
I leaned over.
Simpson 2, Angela Johnson, Travis Dingle, John Miller, Rick Stanley, Narcoleptic Ultra Runner, Brett Aarons, Matthew Amo, Erica Pratt, Kelly Kirkpatrick, It's Duck Duck Gray Duck, OTRAMM, Mitchell Confetti Cannon Henderlong, Sarah Shamoling, Jesse Reinhardt, Jeffrey Flight, The Saginaw Samurai, Scottish Trail Runner, Corey West, Ashley Goddard, Jeremy Klutz, Arnie V, TJM Leadville Finisher Prize Fund. Oof. They should get that money back.
2021.
Joseph Oso Bears, Matt fucking K, you are all awesome. Nick DeHaan, Tony Nichols, Gene Hunter, Matt Chenille, Jennifer Simmons, James, we love our cocks. Penny, Moose Runner Williams, Heather, Run LA to Vegas Virtual Run, Irish Hillbilly, Camille 2.0, Amber Maruli, Dean O, Davey who's still in the Navy, Run Like an Antelope, Brian Frayne, Missing Tooth Runner, Asian on the left, Sexy Cat, doesn't need help. Powered by Pop Tart, Sam Kraft, Krishna M, Kilted Hasher, Holly is my girl crush. I eat 10 junk miles for breakfast. Jim Demerit, Dan Morton, One Rude Runner, Rob Cook, Patrick Wirtz,
High five to myself.
Robin Phelps, like Michael. Dirt on Dirt, Pitch and Turtle, Carrie Eldridge, Adam Holt Adventures, Fanny Barnett, Ben Harner, Matthew Smith, Orilla Gorilla, Verity Mathis, Emma J, Deborah Simon, Rob Bandana Man at Badger Swanson, Brian Running with Podcast Hall, Peter Catalan, 10 Junk Miles Runs Mine Spain 100, Kevin Hurt, Lancelot, Icicles on My Mustache, Anthony Mueller, Garrett Bazel, Mikey Loves Daisy, Sean Barnes, another person that finished the turkey trot with us.
Yes.
Chris, Team Coyote Smith, Lexi Chancellor Pitt, Pop Tart tries to run far, Gavin Sexton, Anna Mama Loves Trail, Macias Macho, Pickles, Ron Anderson, Keith Hedger, Matt Some Vegan Dude Weeble, Joan DeMeyer, Gelato, Brie and Sophie, who are in the house right now, Rick Paula, Drew Booth, Nate Jackson, Body by Budweiser, Craig Bernier, Sophie C, Colleen Winning, the Filipina Puma, Jeremy Anderson, Kama Switch, Catbutt Bubba, Chris Remhoff, Brian Cutts, John Binks, Josie Alphonse, Greg the fucking Preacher, just did a podcast to him. It's Mark from Africa, Kimberly Macy, Poom Urgency Expert, Real Tom Gorley, Christopher Madman Martin, Hey Would You Cood Me, Hey Would You Cuddle Me, Mike Bresno A, Hey Would You Blow Me, Harry Huge Asperson, Bill, Brian Oakham, Skinny Kilt Runner,
That guy.
Bye.
Travis Swanson, Aaron Park, Alicia, Austin Elder, Bob French, Joseph Rabinowitz, Audrey Will, Drink Sinatra's Bad Boy Running Podcast, Jimmy Loves Loud, Pink Shorts and Honey, Matt Robles, Mary Carne Asada, Leo from Finland, David Brislam, 10 Junk Memes, Bonky Kong, Beth Kelly, Evan Rich, Heather, do what I want during quarantine. I don't give a fuck. Kyle.
Yeah.
Runs with Crohn's and Colitis Strava Club. God, coached by Rock True, Jonathan Hill, Josh Fat Too Fast Hobian, Lee Arbogast, Stephen Gets It Done, Carter Dodds, Scott Gale, $1 Quid Pro Quo, Daniel Whitmore, Rebecca Joyner, Rick Berg, Sweaty Betty, Martha Shue, Majestic AF, Charlotte Wilson, Andy Noyes, Todd Evans. Please stop calling me Chief.
Chief.
Chris Mendoza, Mike Assern, Trail Dominator, Delta Kane, Corona Cooper, Eric Strand, Bloody Don, Art Sundry.
Corona Cooper.
What?
Corona Cooper. That's funny.
Running Warrior Sarah, Shay Merritt, Ed Cook, Megan McStarrell, McGow, Chitra, Mari Baldwin, Jake Turner, John Sharp, Dairy Queen Rachel, Mark Bauman, Raymond Wright, who I did.
Okay.
I did Ray Wright today. He works in a nuclear power plant. We talked about a little Chernobyl. Very interesting shit. Greg from Saskatchewan, that Ellsworths, Maureen Lessick, Lauren Duncan, Mike Finsted, Candy Turtle to Goat Kemp, Shanna S., Jeff Bailey, David Dushkin, Todd Good, Sean D., Denise Cassiano, 2 Sock Cutters, Tucking Socks They Cut, Amy Reinke, Toothless Truck Driving Davey, why do vegans have to say they are vegan?
What?
I don't know. The Canocho, Hag Crusher, Matt Barker, The Bearded Scholar, It's Me, Scott K., Paul Motherfucking Fly, Aaron Darcy, Ron Watson, Andrew Cheno, Tess Tickle, Chris Heggie, Kyle Blackberry Smith, Billy Oliver, Close Off Hubbard, Lisa Mac and Cheese, Brian Kogard, Derek Hartman, Trina Cheleno, Anana Banana, Fly Schubert, Heather Carr, Renee Hibbert, Newman, Trippid Mawa, Susan Baker, Holy Jesus Shitballs, Carrie Runs 100 Miles, Ultra Flunky Running Company, Chili Billy Clem, Camille Squatty Polly, John Eisen, Duck Duck Boobs, The No Fear Project, Jeff Holbrook, The Dread Pirate Roberts, Ben Thacker, Eric Ultra E. McPherson, A Sphincter Says What, Ugo Drainville, Choose Head Forever, Go Pack Go, Rob Devine, Sean Cox, Scotty Sells Seashells by the Seashore, Sarah West, Trisha Becker, Astrid Hoyt, Brittany Rickman, Eric and Debbie Lindroth, Ben Smeardoff, Jeffrey Flights, Joe Williams, Azam Politov.
Oh,
Huzzah.
Coming this weekend, by the way, just FYI. Douglas Galliano, James the Biker, Brad Manor, Are We Done Yet? Donna, Paul Watke, Wicked Lester, Mitch Clark, Thad Will, Runs with Gators, Amy Weidler Heidler, Paul Schlegel, Matt Hoadley, Amanda Wong, Dan Slater, A Bird Run Slow, Finja, the Finnish Ninja, Method Matt, John Nachtigal, Mark Mills, David Meath, Jada Freer, Jordan Kidd, David Nowosowski, Kevin Jordan, Kristen Astrid, Chris Walker, Carrie the Fucking Runner, Cinda Brown, Kevin Dames, Kent Cogill, Avi Johnson, Oscar Delgado, Krista Catlin, Cooper Hayes, Alison Kirk, Matt Bromley, Josh McFace, Stephen Banfield, Nathan Gehrig, Seasell, She Sell by the Seashore, Dan from Down Under, Dirt Spelled with a U50K, Amy Weiner, Daniel Sweeney, Kenneth Tipsy Hustle Greenwood, Jeremy Flisher, CLV, Phil LaCroix, Jen Collins, Steve Tersey, Simon,
but
Tom Scipiono,
I see him.
Runs with Rocky, Tyler Winnis, yeah, let's fucking Zoom fart. Nicholas Brandt, Kyle, the champ is here. Nordquist, Peter Keogh, Justin Hadfield, Jennifer Robbins, Stephanie Lou Carone, Andrew Ruthenbach, Matt Run, Streaker Miller, Tim Owie, Do It Again, Nelson, Doc, Chocolatey Chip, Judy Holden, Adam Levine, Mark Marmosato, Rachel Bernis, Jen Mason, Rich Fila, Dana LaRose, Scott Catter, Lawrence Trailhawk, She Sells Pea Smells by the Seashore, Jonas Petruno, Nate Horkinson, Matt Traub, Joe Bordner, Sean McDermott, Dan Shaw, Chris Fox, Tracy Gessner, Eric Thero, Casey Dowling, Lars Lundquist, Ray Gorski, Ryan Mayer, Andy Whiskey Levin Schmitz, Albuquerque Meep, James Young, Mia Mikek, Matt Matheny, Ben Sue, Geo Big Old D, Kristen Kolatarik, Glenn Zidane, Andy Lone, Michael Cronizer, Sean Humphrey, Jameson Swift, Eric Global, Camille Herring, Cassidy Tinkoff, and
Todd Clay.
Brad Kleist. Yeah. All right, so we have a whole bunch of people that showed up to visit. Oh, they're all muted. That's perfect. Thank you for muting yourselves.
They listened.
I love that. And I think that's it for the business. The reason why we invited all the people to come, if they wanted to come, was because I think this is the last Zoom show. So we won't have to do this anymore. So
Thank God.
why not take advantage of this situation, you know? All right, so what's left on the board there, Holly?
Hey,
Oh,
I didn't get to pick.
Mindy's got her hand up.
I didn't get
You
to
got
pick.
pick.
I got to
Oh.
pick.
Bluff. Who's get the bluff?
So because I'm a preacher's kid and I wanted to say fucking, I'm saying Greg the fucking preacher.
Greg the fucking preacher with the
Nice.
bluff.
nice.
It was funny. I think I used Jesus and God in vain a couple times in the interview with him too. And then I kept saying, oh my God, what am I doing? And he's Greg the fucking preacher, right? I mean,
Greg the-
it's not like he could be picky. So that was interesting. Another question I had was so Friday I won't have to do Meet the Nation every day anymore because we're out of quarantine. And I was thinking about doing them once a week and having like Meet the Nation Monday.
Yeah.
Does that seem like not enough? Too much? What do you guys think?
How many people do you have on the list?
105.
Still left?
Like 2
Two?
years.
Wow.
Maybe you should.
Maybe you should do Meet the Nation Monday and then do a couple of them.
No. I think I cannot keep up with this output right
Oh, no,
I
I
can't
can't
either.
keep up either.
Well, but like what Adam's saying, if I do like 3 of them on Monday or 2 of them on Monday even, at least then it's, you know.
There's a
back
list.
to back.
They're only like, what, 22 to 20 to 30 minutes. So,
Yeah. I could put them on the same show. I could just make one file.
right.
Like,
I
3
see.
shows.
Okay, yeah, do that. And do like 2 or 3.
I like doing them, and I think it's fun to learn about each other. One of the things we were talking about was, now you remember at the Badger, something that we never thought about was that everybody would show up at the race and they would all like fan out on each other, like the people that are in the nation, like, oh, that's you and that's you and that's you and you're, you know, so it's, you know, imagine how fucking crazy that's going to be this year after all the slack and the movie night and the, you know, Meet the Nation and like everybody really knows each other.
I wish
gonna
I
be
would have
like-
been taking notes.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go back, like, okay, who was that one? There was like several that like Avett brothers, and I love the Avett brothers. I'm like, now I can't remember who they all were,
Yeah.
but I love it. It's been great. I'm up for the 3 on Mondays.
So are you up to date?
Yes, I'm up to date actually.
That's crazy.
I've been painting during this quarantine. I'm on my 5th gallon of paint, so I listen while I paint.
Well, the one thing that I didn't think about was that so many people listen on their commute and they're not commuting anymore.
True.
Which kind of cuts their listening time down a lot, you know? I thought,
No, I painted almost every room of my house, so I've been listening through those.
yeah.
Well, if you want to come to my house and start painting, that's fine too.
No, I'm almost done.
Well, I'm actually going full back into having meetings in my office next week. So,
Whoa.
yeah. I mean,
So
I'm not going to be,
there.
I'm still going to work from home, but I'm going to meet people there if they want to, because I don't want them in my house for sure. But, yeah. So what's left on the board there, Holly?
We got Strava.
All right, let's talk
So-
about the Strava thing.
Oh,
Strava went pay. Who's mad? Who's not?
I don't even know what the difference is.
So
I
we'll put you in the no category.
yeah, I'm not mad because I've been paying already, so nothing
You okay?
changed.
I mean,
Adam paying?
I've been paying for a couple of years, which is fine. I think I saw somebody was pissed because they weren't paying and now their yearly mileage isn't showing and they were pissed about that. But
Yeah,
How
I've
much
always
is,
been paying.
A month or a day or what? I don't know. How often do you pay? What?
it's like
It's like $5
$60
a
a
month.
year or something, right?
It's like $8 a month. You can pay $8 a month. That's what I pay $8 a month.
So what do you get different for paying? Like what's
Does
it
anybody
do?
know?
So the reason I started paying was because you could text someone your location. You could text someone a link to your live location. So it was like a safety thing. If I was going out running, I could text my mom, I could text my husband, and they could click on the link and they could see exactly where I was real time. Like they could see me moving.
You weren't texting your you weren't texting like a boyfriend or something, or like?
It's not a hookup app. It's not Tinder for runners.
You made it sound like it was a hookup app.
It's like Tinder, but for running.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are really happy now, are the people that wanted to date even in the corona.
Oh,
Imagine
yeah.
if you were like single. That sucks.
I mean, if you're
Hey,
sick,
that's why I said I was happy that you're doing this. I said it's kept me off Match. It's kept me off the dating site.
right? Hey, I'm heading out for my run. When are you going to be available? You know.
So it doesn't sound like that's very controversial at all.
No.
Okay.
What's
I don't-
next?
Okay. What's next? We talked about heartburn. The Trail Fest.
Trail Fest? Yeah.
The
that's-
trail tips, face your fears. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that.
What?
That article you sent us about sexual harassment on the trail.
Did you read it?
I did.
What was your
It's like what
what
I
was your
fucking do all
reaction
the time, no matter what. This is what I do.
What is it that you do? Tell us what you do.
Okay, this is what I do. I don't be nice to people who make me uncomfortable. I say no and use my resting bitch face. I'm opinionated, independent, and wear whatever you want. I don't know why they have to say that. Take precautions. Tell people where you are. Don't do something you don't feel uneasy about. I don't know. It's just like kind of common sense stuff. Don't disclose that you're alone to a stranger. Don't give details. Sleep near a group. I don't know what that means. And then like get off the trail if someone's behind you and they're not. You can't shake them.
Yeah. So, Rachel, go ahead.
Scott sent us an article written about what, if you're a woman, what do you do when you feel uncomfortable with a dude on the trail? And there were
Like
some
behind you.
Yeah, there were some things that I think were really great for runners, and I think the article was really written maybe for through hikers or people who are doing kind of a long haul on their own as women. And the advice, I think it's kind of controversial to even give advice now, because so many people say, well, if you even give advice to somebody, then you're kind of blaming the victim, right? It shouldn't be in a woman's hands to stop a predator. But a lot of women are like, well, what do I do if I'm out there and I just don't feel comfortable? And I think the best one that I liked was practice your resting bitch face. Because I think that a lot of guys who are creepers see any interaction as an invitation. So whether you're like, yeah, and they're like trying to get rid of them by being nice, then they see that as an invitation. But if also you're like, yeah, fuck you, go away, they're like, ooh, she likes it spicy. And they see that as an invitation too. So I think sometimes the best thing you can do is like no response.
I'm just thinking, I've known Rachel for plus or minus 4 years now, and I've never seen her. I can't imagine in the trail. Like, I've ran past Rachel on the trail since I've known her, and we haven't recognized each other. She's so gone, you know? So, just because, you know, this thing with the run bum is.
I'm just not paying attention.
Just because this thing with the run bum's not totally worn off yet, and I just want more people to be mad at me. One of the things I was thinking about while I was reading this article is that, and you guys can tell me where I'm wrong. We're taking the concept of men, right? And we're saying, if there's a man, here's what you do, right? And we're saying that because men are the ones that are attacking you and doing all these mean things to you. Okay? If we were to write that same article, and this is, I'll tell you what made me think about that after I'm done, but if we were to write that same article and say, black person, that'd be totally fucking racist, right?
Yeah.
Like, so what I'm wondering is, why is it okay for us to say everybody that fits into one category you should respond a certain way to, if it's one person and not another, you know? And the reason why I bring this up is because me and my wife, who happens to be black, by the way, were walking home from a restaurant in South Africa, and there was a guy behind us, and I remember having all of the things that you were talking about in this article run through my head. What can we do? We should step to the side. We should let the person go. We were convinced this person was following us, and he was, because he was staying in the same fucking hotel, you know? But
Right.
we all kind of thought that, you know, and we felt bad when we got in the hotel. We're just like, oh my God, I can't believe we like stereotyped this person, but we're trying to be safe, you know, we're in a foreign country, blah, 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 blah. But it just seems like it seems bad. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't take precautions. I'm not criticizing Holly for doing the things that she's doing before she goes on a run. I'm not saying that. But it seems like the message is that there's a bunch of people out there and they're all men and they're bad and you got to look out for them. And I don't know that's healthy. That's a healthy perspective to have either.
I mean, I think you should be wary of all people. It doesn't matter, like, to me, it doesn't matter what gender or race they are. It's just like, I need to be careful and I need to watch my own ass because no one's going to do it for me. And I would say I typically take those precautions whenever I'm doing anything alone. I don't give a fuck about anyone.
It's interesting. Like, I assume when I'm out running that everybody's friendly and I just say hi to everybody, and I have the exact opposite feeling.
I would say,
but, you know, interesting perspective, right?
But we also should point out for the record that Holly and me and Rachel are running in downtown Chicago and Adam's running in the suburbs. And there's less homeless people, vagrants, you know, I mean, most of the people there, it's Bob from down the street. You know, it's not, who's that guy?
Yeah, but Bob from down the street could be a creeper too.
Hey, yeah, you never know, man. I run those country roads when I go back to my parents' house, and all it takes is one creeper in a car to look at me, or, you know, like, I don't know. People get road rage and they could run your ass over in a heartbeat.
Chicago police aren't like a half a heartbeat away, you know? Like, there's, where I am at least, there's like bike cops everywhere. And but the thing about the article, and I think about a lot of these articles, that I think the subtext is like that, not that it's all men, but you know a creeper when you see one. And it's like, you can't describe it really. You can't like say, oh, it's this type of person, but you definitely know when you're being followed. You definitely know when some guy's like, hey, nice sports bra, or like something like that. Or, you know, you just know, right? And so it's when that happens, and you can't really write about it because it's such a nebulous thing. But you just know, like, as the woman, you just know. You know when something.
Message is to treat everyone like they're gonna be a creeper.
I don't know. I think
that article. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know that the article says that. I think that the article says when you encounter a creeper, this is what.
When you feel like you're being encroached on or your space is being penetrated, and you're feeling a little uneasy, like, this is what you do.
The examples in the article were of people who were following them, and you know if someone's following you intentionally, and you know if someone's not, because if they are, if they're not intentionally following you, they're probably going to say something like, hey, you know, just, we're on the same trail, we're going to the same place, just want to say hi. Or you could turn around and say the same thing to them, and you could figure out in about 2 seconds if they're like creepy or if they're just a normal dude, you know? It's not, but it's also hard to describe in an article, because anything you write is going to put people in a box. Always situations that are outside of the box that you're not going to.
No. I guess I was just reacting to, I thought that the overall theme of the article seemed to have a subtext of be scared, men are bad, you know, and like, for example, in that whole run bum discussion, the girl that was involved in that started messaging me and yelling at me. We had a whole, like, a 4-hour thing, me and her. And one of the things she said to me is that I, you know, because I'm sticking up for sexual assaulters and I don't know what it's like because I'm a man and all this. And that's another pet peeve I have too, is that there's this, you know, when we talk about, and this is the reason why I bring this up also, is because this is an issue that me and Holly have decided that we want to tackle. So we're trying to get involved and try to form a way for people's voices to be heard. And, you know, like, we're trying to collaborate on this with some other people. But, you know, at the same time, I think it's a bad idea to say that, you know, whenever we talk about rape or sexual assault, we can't just talk about it as men on women either, because there are men that are victims of sexual assault and men that are victims of rape as well. So, but at the end of all of this, you know, I had this, and the podcast is coming out. It's me and Billy Barnett and his girlfriend, fiance, Dr. Alex, where we talk about how do we solve this problem, because set aside run bum, set aside, you know, like Sherpa John or whatever we're talking about, there's a problem insofar as these cases that come up, they don't come up that Holly went to the Hawk 100 and the race director acted inappropriate to her and she brought it to someone's attention and it was remediated. What happens is Holly hears that someone else was sexually assaulted at some race, and then Holly and 45 other people show up and say, everybody knew this person was a creep and he did this all the time. And so my question to Holly and my question to Dr. Alex is, how do we get some sort of a place where people can voice their issues and voice their opinions, and maybe it doesn't result in a social media pylon every time. Maybe it's a few people that do an intervention, or that, but like a place where people's voices can be heard. We think that that's like step one, is that everybody should feel like if something happens, there's a place you can go and say, this happened to me, or I think this happened to me, or I'm worried about this, and that there are people from all sides of the issue that will hear you and maybe help you mitigate it.
Yeah, that's not the internet. The internet doesn't help with this.
Yeah.
You need to be able to talk about this kind of thing with real people and have real people get together with other real people and like decide what's going to happen. I think there's too much relying on the internet and the like judge of popular opinion on the internet, whether it be Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, and so
it doesn't stop real life sexual assault.
No. But what I'm saying is, and here's like an example. Let's say that it's me and Holly or it's Holly and David Hale, because he's here, and Gina from Trail Sisters, and Brian Powell from I Run Farm. Let's say that they're the committee, okay? And someone thinks that I was inappropriate to them at a race, and they go to them, okay? And then let's say David Hale says, I think I'm going to go as a first step talk to Scott. And he tells me what happened. And I say, holy shit, that I didn't mean that. That's not what I wanted to say. That's not what I wanted to do. I feel really terrible. Can we get together maybe with the person that says that this happened? And can we talk? Can I apologize? Can I try to make it right? Like something that can be a mechanism for that, rather, and I'm not saying then now let's put it on Facebook and everybody can talk about what an asshole I am. I'm just saying that I could learn. These things keep happening. They wait too long before they come to the surface. Then we find out that there's lots of people that are harmed, and we never learn anything, and nothing ever changes. And that's the thing that irritates me, is that, so everybody got to take a whack at the Run Bum, and everybody got to take a whack at Sherpa John or whatever. But at the end of the day, does anybody feel like we made the world a better place through that process? And I don't think so.
I would say thinking about the way you've set it up, having like a mediary committee who you can go to and talk about these issues, and then they go to the person that's accused and talk to them. Do you think that would work? Like if someone really was serially abusive, wouldn't they be able to just talk their way out of it? Wouldn't they just deny it?
Maybe, but maybe the 50th time it happens, everyone's like, well, then, so let's use the same example. So then David Hale comes back like 9 more times. By the 10th time, he's gonna be like, Scotty, this isn't just a misunderstanding. This is, this is the 10th person that said that you creeped her out,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean but then that does take a history too. So wouldn't that be like too late at the time? And then wouldn't we be blamed for not believing the first victim?
I think it all depends, but I mean, I think as a first step, even if there was just a place where you could go and say, I want to voice what happened to a bunch of people, and they all listened to you and took it in, and I mean, just that process, that would be helpful. We don't have that right now.
Yeah. I mean, it would be good. Like USATF has this Safe Sport Committee that is basically like a committee that makes sure that any sort of allegation of misconduct is heard and is explored and is dealt with according to its seriousness, So
Yeah.
I mean, running should have that.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, even if it's just a place where you need to vent about something that happened to you, whether it leads to something else, like allegations, or I don't know how you would you'd have to make a complaint and get cops involved eventually if that were the case. But I feel like sometimes maybe a lot of it could be resolved, just by women or men speaking out sooner about their feelings, or like, this happened to me, it made me feel really uncomfortable. Did anyone else experience this? What should I do about it? What should, like, and then have just maybe like an open platform where people can even confidentially talk about it, because I bet there's people who don't want to be named, or like, maybe, you don't want to be the first one to say something, because I feel like that's a lot of times, or like maybe it's against somebody that's, a little bit more famous or a little bit more well known, and that's like a big accusation or a big conversation, and it's a big deal, and you don't want to, like, ruffle feathers or whatever. But
But I think
people
that
should speak out and say stuff.
I think what we were just talking about is that there's an initial problem, and that's that we want everyone to feel like they can speak and be heard on these issues immediately, rather than later on as part of a pile-on. And maybe as a first step, coming up with a way that can happen could be good, net good for the world.
Yeah.
There's no good in waiting to say anything in no situation. So
anyway, that was something that came up, and this will get kind of ruffled up a little bit when I talk with Dr. Alex and Billy Barnett, because there are people that were very concerned about the pileup on Sean Blanton, even though they weren't really good friends with him. And Billy took the position that, hey guys, this is getting a little out of control. Let's tamp it down a little bit. And they came from a good place, and they were well-meaning. And then they both have extremely interesting stories, because Billy Barnett is Bonehead Billy from Born to Run, and Dr. Alex she did like a deck of Iron Man and stuff like that, and she's a really interesting person. Adam's down there.
So
Adam, you're in a bad place now. We have no fucking clue when you're talking. You're way down on the bottom.
my internet crashed, and or something crashed, and I got bumped off. So I just rejoined. But like what you're just saying about Run Bum and Dr. Alex and like, my thought is that, like, I don't know any of these people, like, personally, right? And I've never Run Bum. I've never done any of his races, and everything that was accused of him is purely on Facebook, and that's obviously not vetted by anybody anywhere, right?
Right.
I just got to take whatever people are saying at their word, and then he came back with a very, very long Facebook post that I read, and then if I take him at his word, then I guess what I'm getting at is that, like the Holly and Rachel were saying before, like, the internet and Facebook is no place to make these judgments on people, and I'm not trying to say that Run Bum's wrong, or that people accusing him is wrong, or that they're right or wrong. I'm not trying to say any of that. All I'm trying to say is that, like, I'm pretty in tune with what's going on with the ultra community most of the time, though not intimately with every little community and every little group, but like, I follow a lot of stuff, and I have no idea who to believe or not believe, and I really can't make a judgment. Like, it's just not it's not who I am, number one, and it's not really my responsibility, or really a lot of other people's responsibility. Like, this needs to be worked out in a more intricate level and if someone wants to file a lawsuit or a case, it's like, for the internet to just be judgy it's just wrong on both sides, I guess, is my point. Most of us really don't know the truth.
Well, that's why we're talking about having this not on the internet.
Right.
We're talking about having a place
Right.
where people can voice their experiences and be heard, and maybe there's a way that it can be mitigated without it being on the internet, because I agree that being on the internet is just not a place where this should happen. But the big problem is that people aren't coming forward and talking, and we have to get people to say what happened. And if we say, well, it's he said, she said, and I don't want to take a position, why would anybody ever come forward? That's going to be 99% of everything that ever happens. This is the same reason why so many women, I think, through the history of rape haven't come forward, because it's he said, she said, even in open court. It's an issue, and I think anytime we could create an open space that's mitigated by someone,
independent. I mean, that's a good open space and people could have a conversation about it. I think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it leads and I don't know what happens after that, but I know that me and Holly are on the same page that we want to try and solve the problem of just creating a place where people can feel safe to go and talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
say, and then maybe there's steps after that. I don't know, but that was my one takeaway from, you know, probably a combined 20 hours of being fucking yelled at by people on this side and yelled at by people on that side, you know, just getting messages from everybody. It's like, and I don't know why I'm the fucking hub. You know, I don't know any of these people. I don't know the guy. I mean, I knew Ashley Hecklow. I knew the girl who got disqualified. I know her really well from Winter. I don't know anybody else. I have no involvement with this, but everybody comes to me, you know? Weird.
You should probably take that as a compliment. That people trust you, you know.
Everybody thought I could be fair, and then everybody was mad when I was fair. So
Can't win. You're not. Yeah.
Being in the middle.
Yep.
all right, what else we got on the big show tonight? That's it? Nothing else on the
That's all I had.
Are we gonna
Oh,
keep
Trail Fest?
huh?
What's that?
What's Trail Fest? Trail Fest? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, that's the Trail Running Film Festival. It's on June.
Is that where you just watch movies?
Yeah, we're gonna watch movies. It's a
Are they
virtual
running movies?
trail
Are
running
they
film.
regular movies? Are they 80s movies?
No,
How do
no,
we find the Trail Fest?
trail running movies. It's at
I
Trail
remember
Fest.
getting drunk at one of these and then walking home and eating Popeyes.
That sounds like Tuesday for you.
Oh, I remember that because it was at that movie theater. It was me and you and Adam and somebody else, and we did a lot of drinking. We didn't go into the movies.
No,
No, we didn't go to the movie.
No.
I
We hung
remember
out-
getting random texts from all of you, and I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you in the same place?
Holly got drunk and went to Popeyes.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go to trailfilmfest.com, it's the virtual trail running film fest that they already had. They're doing it again on June 6th, 5:30 Pacific. So that's 7:30 our time. That's going to be our Slack movie. You got to pay $10. It goes to the Band of Runners for the veterans. So why not? I mean, it's a good cause. You
Yeah,
can
Louis.
watch a movie on Slack. Help out some. They take veterans and Gold Star families and they take them to trail camp and teach them trail running so that they have a community. I mean, if you don't like that, you're an asshole. Right?
Pretty much.
So that's going to be our June 6th. So I guess we are going to keep doing movie night then, aren't we?
I mean, people
I mean,
can
you
show
really
up
think
for that.
movie night's gonna end? I mean,
Slack's
Probably.
definitely going to end, right? Slack's over when the quarantine's over.
No, I like Slack.
I don't think Jack will
Top
do
shaking her
it.
head and giving the thumbs down.
I'm still trying to get in it, like get like active in it.
It's
So,
It's
I'm
pretty
not
fucking
trying to-
awesome.
You
because-
don't necessarily, Mindy. You don't necessarily want to be active in the Slack.
No, but I mean, I read some of the stuff, so I'm getting there. It's like baby steps.
There's always like somebody talking about something, you know, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we'll keep the Slack going and we'll keep maybe we'll do movie night, you know. We're going to tone down the Meet the Nations to one episode a week, but it might be more than one person. That's what we decided. But, you know, it's going to feel weird. I don't know. Are we just going to go? Is it just going to be like, bang, we're back to normal life again?
Maybe for like the nation, like we should start doing where like we do one night, but maybe I interview somebody, you interview somebody, and Holly interviews somebody, and then Rachel interviews somebody, and then we combine it into one. That'd be kind of fun.
Good. That's fine. I would do that. That would get 4 done a week,
Right.
you know. I don't mind doing that.
Sam would probably do some too.
Yeah.
I like doing those interviews. It's fun. I sometimes I regret that I can't ask more questions.
Yeah, you just have like the Sanders that. And who won the trivia?
David Dushkin. He won. He cleared the whole card. He fucking.
Nice.
That's impressive. Fucking Trivia Pursuit's hard.
He studied, and then he did it, and then I gave him that big prize package.
Yeah, I saw that.
We're on question 3. Somebody got question 2 right, but you know, we'll see.
There's 6 questions on a card, right?
Yep. So I don't know. We'll keep doing that. It's been fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been interesting. I think unlike other podcasts and other running communities, well, there might be a couple other exceptions, but it seems like we got closer over the corona, not further apart, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I know a lot of people from the nation way better, or maybe even more than I wanted to at this point,
Sure, that's the truth.
you know? For sure, definitely Heather Cobb, like way too much Cobb. But yeah, it's been fun.
I like it.
Yeah.
It has been fun.
Maybe we'll just do
Michael's here with his giant fucking goatee. White.
I see that.
Goatee there.
I also think Ed, I think that his phone is in his bag. Hi,
Oh, there's Ed Bergoza.
where are you?
What if he's delivering the mail?
Office?
Probably on Sheridan Road. Walking along some shit, right?
The mail down there, just walking around. Diane
Outdoor
Dillon looks like she's working.
Oh yeah, there's the post office trucks.
Is Gio wearing a Flatlander shirt
He is.
out there in Colorado? No.
Not Flatlander anymore.
Well, and this
There's a
Friday's happy hour is going to be the pre-race meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody else did that either, which I think is kind of weird. But we're going to have two superstars speaking, meaning me and Adam, and then a couple of girls are going to stop by and say a couple words.
Yep, pretty much.
But we just thought maybe you need a little extra value for the I mean, seeing as though I'm ripping you all off, according to our friend Shalani Kovac,
Rainy, right?
I think it's good that we're giving you a little extra value.
I don't know how you could look at I mean, like, I was thinking about this, and I just don't understand how you could take it negatively.
So
I do.
I was
get
talking to a vendor today that I was ordering something from, which is for the Badger Trail race. This is a little surprise gift. And we were talking about the virtual versus real, and I was explaining to him kind of, because he's a runner, and I was like, the virtual race is kind of like, you paid for a race, the race directors can't, I mean, they could give you all their money back, but then they'd be bankrupt, right? Or they could give you a virtual race and then give you the swag, and it's kind of like this hybrid. We can all be part of a community and try to be connected as much as we can while we can't be together. And that's kind of how I explained it to him, is that it's the best way we can as race directors to, kind of stay connected and give you the best we can while we can't be together. That's kind of how I explained it to him.
Well, and I think there's a big difference between someone that just came up with the quarantine quandary 5K that send me $39.99, I'll send you the medal and the buckle and the blah, blah, blah. And it's just, I just want to do a virtual race, and someone that has a race that offers a virtual option. This was like the other point that I was trying to make, is we offered everybody the exact same thing that she did, which is a deferral to next year.
Right.
And then we have another option, so nobody's doing this against their will. And how are we to know that everybody else, just people like, I don't know, maybe like the Holdleys, they're like, well, I would have did it if I could have went, but I can't go, but I'll do the virtual, so can I do it?
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. And, one thing that we should think about is, do we want to have a virtual option for other races that we do? Just the Badger, like, let's say someone doesn't want to travel, but they still want to participate, want to do it on their own. Should we still have that option? I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I think the problem is obviously for the everything but the 100, the price would be similar to the Sugar Badger, but for the 100, that buckle it's fucking $65 to buy the buckle, so I mean, it would have to be like $150 virtual 100, or something like that.
it would be an option if somebody had something come up, like a wedding or something on that weekend, and they just can't go, like, to be able to do the virtual option instead of just like not doing it at all would be better. Yeah. But I do know in the past I've had a race canceled due to flooding or some sort of random thing. And they said, well, you can have like a virtual race, or you can do like, we're going to postpone it to this date. And I just thought the virtual race option was bullshit at the time, because like, I don't do the race for the medal. You know what I mean? I don't do it for the medal. I don't do it for the t-shirt. do it for the camaraderie. I do it for being
Right.
around other people. And so in a way, like, I can see the argument that the virtual race thing is bullshit. But in the time of Corona, I also want to be able to race in the future. So all of the race companies that like literally just have to take a year of solid loss, I want to support them in some way so that when we come out of this and we don't have to wear face masks at our events and we can be within 6 feet of other people, that they are still around to do these races. And so I think that like virtual runs in the Corona world are a different thing than virtual runs in general. Because if this was like the non-Corona world and you guys are like, yeah, I just paid $100 to run across Tennessee, but I'm gonna do it on my treadmill, I'd be like, what the fuck?
You're done. No.
You could run on your treadmill for free, you know. And but given this particular situation, it's totally different.
So what about, like, let's say next year this is all behind us, and then we have the Badger Trail races and people sign up and we have a virtual option
Yeah.
where people can stay home, or they could be in, like, you know, let's say someone in the military is, you know, stationed in Japan and they're like, well, I can't come, but I want to run. Can we offer is it like, you know, like, could we offer a virtual option where they, for $150, let's say they run there, but they can still participate the best that they can, you know, or a lot of people can't travel, you know, I mean, like, a lot of the cost of races is travel, you know, and that's often the biggest thing.
It allows you to like do the race with somebody else that you maybe wouldn't typically run with, or like who couldn't travel, or, you know, like traveling isn't really allowed right now. But so like, you know, you could do a race with a friend from across the country and you're doing it at the same time, and you're able to do that because it's a virtual thing and you are committed because you signed up for something. And so it's a little bit more than just saying, okay, let's do this mileage per day and run together. You know, signing up with a virtual race, you get the swag, and then you can do it virtually, literally with a friend. And that I think is cool because that's just something that I've never thought of doing before ever.
I think the one where we raced each other, that was the only fun one we did.
That was cool. Yeah.
Because we started at the same time, and, you know, we were going.
Holly won, right?
She did. Crushed me. But now I'm signed up for so many because I want to help everybody out. I'm signed up for all these. I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
But like if
I'm signed up for like 10
signed
virtual
up
races.
for that 50K, I would never have done a 50K
Yeah.
right now.
Everybody who's here, I have a question. Everybody's here. Raise your hand if you've done a virtual race. It's most everybody,
Most.
right? Few people who haven't, but most everybody's done a virtual race. We thank you. All of us race directors, thank you, because it keeps us going, and it's a good way to stay connected, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, like I said, I get like there are some companies and maybe some people out there who want to take advantage of this. But at this point, I don't think there's anything wrong with anybody trying to make money.
I think Rachel has her hand up. Virtually.
I was raising my hand. You said raise my hand, so I raised my hand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's all business. So.
What virtual race did you do, Rachel?
I'm doing Running Fit monthly challenges. They're coming up with new monthly challenges every single month. So like this month was 50K in May. It was a streak. We had to run every day of May. And the nice thing about Running Fit is they don't care like how slow you go. You just have to do a mile.
So many shots.
I've done like very slow miles as some of my miles with the poison ivy.
Dude, we got a package from Running Fit too.
Awesome.
Ooh.
And then next month, what they're doing is a little different. It's a little more like the Race Across Tennessee. They're doing a run around Lake Michigan, but in time that you would be driving it. So it's a little weird. Like if you drove around Lake Michigan, how long that would take you
40 days
in running time. So,
how far is it around Lake Michigan? Like how many miles?
1,000 something.
1,037, I think.
And you got to time that bridge exactly right, correct?
No, you can't do the bridge.
You can't do the bridge?
You can do it one day a year on Labor Day.
Who did that? Someone did that, right? Someone ran around Lake Michigan and did the bridge on the 40 days guy.
That
You
guy.
didn't do the bridge
can.
though.
Diane Durden just told me that the Marine Corps Marathon offers a virtual, what did she call it? They do like a deployed race for
Oh yeah.
people who are overseas and they still want to run the marathon.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, and you know that's the other one. I want to do this Eagle Up thing too. The guy that Eric Wittgenstein or whatever, he puts on this Eagle Up Ultra for veterans that looks really good. It's in Ohio. 24-hour Eagle Up Ultra. You got to think about doing.
Ohio? Thank God it's virtual. I would never go there again.
No, we're going there. It's for the veterans.
You were there for Mohican, right? You didn't like that?
I didn't enjoy Mohican very much, but just wasn't for me.
I don't think that's a good example of what all of Ohio is like all the
No,
time.
I don't think so.
No, probably not.
It's not.
For example, the
There's a lot
zoo.
of different parts of Ohio. There's like the very hilly side of Ohio where Mohican is, and then the flat farmland side of Ohio.
Yeah. So what else we got? It's our last show.
Last Zoom show, right?
Huh?
Well, you said the last show. I just want to clarify that it's the last Zoom show.
Yeah, hopefully we never have to do this fucking Zoom again. I'm tired of it. I don't like it at all.
No.
Can you take Benadryl after having some wine?
No.
Just sleep really well.
Not a bad idea.
Another
You're
thing
like
you
knock
shouldn't
out.
ask the internet.
Give
Knock
someone
out
there to
for,
check
like,
on you.
hours.
Mindy probably knows, right?
As a
Well, I mean,
former pharmaceutical
you
drug
can.
user,
I would be.
everything goes good with alcohol. Okay? It helps
How
everything.
much do you want to sleep?
Mindy, what's your official stance on that?
On what? The
Drinking and
Taking
pills
Benadryl
together?
after you have
Alcohol and Benadryl.
I would do it very cautiously.
Yeah. I think I would.
Like,
You
what
have
will happen?
You have topical stuff you could use instead. I would go there first.
Cool.
What happens if you drink alcohol and antibiotics?
Depends on the antibiotics. You could vomit profusely with some.
Oh,
I mean, it can't be worse than
before.
alcohol and Popeyes.
What is the best heartburn medication?
Like instant, like right away, like a Carafate, but you probably wouldn't have. It's probably something you don't have on hand.
No, I don't have that.
Tums.
Pepto-Bismol.
I mean,
I hear
yeah.
Tums are shit.
Pardon?
I hear Tums are shit. Maalox is better.
Well, if you have Maalox, I would go with Maalox because it coats better.
Yeah.
You know how Tums taste like chalk? And they came out with Tums that are chewy? Well, the Tums that are chewy taste like chewy chalk.
But they're better.
Chewy chalk Tums.
Can this be like ask Mindy anything?
No,
Health-wise?
Ask Mindy anything.
not medical necessarily. I mean,
What the
random
fuck?
questions.
What was your favorite part of the turkey trot?
My favorite part of the turkey trot.
None of it?
Gosh, just meeting you guys and meeting the other people, and I see Sean on there now. Finally, I'm on my iPad, so I only see 9 people at once. So I'm getting to see Sean now.
He's bummed because all the 200 milers aren't going to happen now. He's going to have to. Are you doing,
I know he was supposed to do Ozark Foothills with me also.
I wonder if he's doing that 250 miler that Jamil's putting on. That looked like
Probably.
dumb enough to do.
I'm sure.
No, I don't regret that at all. I would love to do the turkey trot again.
What was your least favorite part about the turkey trot?
Well, cold. I'm from Florida.
It was cold.
That stretch from like mile 80 to 90 from the gas station to the pizza place was probably right.
That was a lonely stretch.
Yeah, that was lonely.
Don't
That mileage of the turkey trot too, like 80 to 90 to 80 to. I mean, it's just lonely regardless. No matter where you're at, no matter how cold it is, it's just That's the worst zone right there.
I think the best thing about the turkey
I think,
trot.
oh wait, the other best thing were the White Castles, the belly bombers.
Oh,
I needed that right then.
Belly bomber.
I thought the best part about the turkey trot was that we went to this shoe store and then we just straight up full on all slept. Like
I didn't sleep well.
took a
though.
nap as a group.
Yeah, for like 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah.
It's like laid out on the floor in the shoe store.
All right. Well, if that's it, that might be the end of our last ever Zoom gang show.
No,
It's been real and
There
it's
it
been fun, but it hasn't been real fun, that's for sure.
I'm excited for real shows.
I got
Real life, right?
phone calls.
That's the question. Are you gonna make us wear masks when we're on the podcast?
No.
that would be really difficult to do with the audio.
So here's my official position. I made a deal. I said I would follow the rules, stay inside, stop the curve, all that, did it. I did everything that they told me to do. And now the governor says I'm free, so I'm free. And the mayor, fuck her. I don't know who elected her, And then going into Memorial Day, she said, and by the way, if there's any monkey business over Memorial Day, I'm going to extend this thing further. I'm like, she's not my fucking mom. Like, what? Who does she think she is? She's going to ground me longer?
I love our mayor so
Oh.
much. I saw her do a video about the Shed Aquarium while it was closed, and it just struck me that she's like not polished at all, and I love it.
The courts are opening on June 1st,
Okay.
but Chicago isn't. How's that going to
Well, what? That seems weird.
Yeah, don't you think? A little bit?
Yeah.
When it comes to Chicago mayors, eventually they all end up in jail at some point, right?
Yeah.
No, she's going to get elected out. I'm done with her. I like Mayor Daley had what you're talking about too, where he's just unpolished and like he would have press conferences and people would ask him questions and he would just be like, "That's a stupid question. I'm not going to answer that. Next question." Like he could do whatever he wanted. He's like Cobb,
Like he's king of Chicago.
Yeah.
That's not what Lori is. She's just a little frumpy and doesn't quite know what to say. And I think I like it.
We don't share politics, me and her, and she went on to that David Axelrod podcast.
Yeah.
And as a rule of thumb, everyone that goes on that podcast, I like them more after I listen to the interview. Like the Susan Rice lady that was with the Benghazi and all that crap. Like, I thought, I hate her. I'm not going to like her. At the end of it, I was like, you know what? I like her. He does a really good job. But Lori Lightfoot, at the end of that podcast, I was like, she's out of here. No, me and Holly can't be separated after Friday. It's not going to happen. We're doing fucking mimosas. We're doing Prosecco. We're making s'mores. Yeah, the yard needs a party. So no masks on the show. Masks optional, obviously. If you want to wear a mask.
Yeah. If you want to wear it, you can, but
We're not gonna throw you out.
okay, cool.
Well, you know how
There's a lot of spit flying, so
We'll have to have like a no spitting rule.
shield our
Huh?
you know how people wear their mask in their car? Like, and that's silly because you're in your car? One of my other big pet peeves is when people stop in the middle of the road to let you across even when they have a green light. The other day I was running and this guy stopped. He had the green light, I had the red light. He's like, "No, you go." And he's like wearing his mask in his car. And I'm like,
It's a very Chicago thing.
what is wrong here?
no,
What makes him think that he's a better system than what we got in place already?
What is it? Follow the rules.
We got the lights, we got the signs, we need this guy.
I will, in that situation, I just start,
It's like looking behind you. Are you waving someone else?
just look away from the person, and eventually they just like break eye contact and they just do whatever they're supposed to do. And then as soon as they're gone, I'm like, okay.
I have people get really mad at me if I don't go. They're like, whoa, go, go. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's also a big thing in the ghetto. That people like to just do whatever they want. And
Yeah.
like, fuck you, I'm walking here. You know, like, I don't care what the light is. You're not going to hit me. You know, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. At Roosevelt
mean, they're right.
State, there are people crossing the road at any time, no matter
Not
what.
gonna fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares? Run me over. I don't care.
Not gonna hit him, right?
No.
Yeah, whenever you get close or you don't look like you're gonna stop, they don't stop. They just stare you down. Like direct eye contact, walk in front of your car.
Yep. Go ahead and hit me.
Yeah.
The right turn people are the worst people. Those are the people who run you over.
Yeah.
Don't look. Yeah.
The right turn people.
Yeah.
You know?
Because they don't give a fuck. They just turn right.
Well, they're just like they're looking
the right
left,
turn
and then
people
and
that
then
don't
you're coming across, even if it's green light, and they're not looking to the right. So when they're turning right,
Yeah.
and then I almost got run over like a month ago, and then he stopped. This dude like almost ran me over, and then he got pissed off at me, and he stopped, and he got out of the car, and he was gonna throw it out with me. It was like crazy. I was like, "Fuck you, dude!" I was like pissed because he almost hit me.
You got to fight?
It was like a month ago.
Did you punch his lights out?
I didn't back
like
down. I was
6
yelling
feet,
at that fucker.
6 feet away. You got to stay 6 feet, but we can fight from 6 feet away.
I was ready to. I was mad because he almost hit me with his car, and then he like got out of the car and started yelling at me, and I was mad. I was like, "You want to go? Let's go." I was just ready to go. Then he got back in the car and drove away.
You should have coughed at him. Just go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the new multi-purpose weapon.
That's just so bad, right? That's just
Just going after him?
like Karen on speed.
Lean on him. All right. Well, I think that's
All
a
right.
show.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Good. I think this is about the 5th time Scott's tried to wrap it up.
Well,
Yep.
it's 21. You know, I mean,
It's like Wisconsin goodbye, you know. It's like you just say
Yeah.
bye like
Gotta go
for half
to
an hour and then you go.
wave at your family. As
and
they
I'm going to Dots tomorrow. Or Saturday. That's for sure.
Like I suppose, you know, I've been trying to leave for half an hour.
Oh,
I suppose I should go. That's like Wisconsin goodbye.
Yes.
Yep.
We do that in Michigan too.
You know.
Yep.
Well,
Oh, and then you start talking about something else. Like, oh, did you hear, Richard from
Did you
across
hear
the street?
about?
well,
Did you hear about your cousin in jail?
oh,
My brother got arrested. That was interesting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, apparently he assaulted somebody. Not good.
no.
He's got mental health issues, so